All right, let's hit record.
You think we were doing a podcast or something?
Okay, record just sent us right up to 89%. Okay.
Awesome.
We are now recording in 3, 2. Good evening and welcome to Between the Pages. Once again, we are here to talk about all things that are geek. I am your host, Richard Cleveland, and with me, as always, is my inimitable co-host,
Jason Bishop. I'm manager of Words and Pictures here in Calgary. We have comics, games, Magic the Gathering, toys, you name it, we got it. Back issues. Come down, check us out.
Have you got any dancing girls?
Depends what day you come.
Oh, okay. And tonight we have 3 very special guests with us tonight. And they are, first and foremost, one of the co-hosts of the PC Basement and a member of the Naked Ape family, Mr. Alex Johnson.
Hello, hello. Thanks for having me, guys.
With his spirit fingers. Also, we have with us Cody Carmichael via Skype. He is also one of the co-hosts of the PC Basement. How you doing, Cody?
Not too bad, and good evening to you, gentlemen.
And finally, we have Kevin Cottrell, who is our missing link here at the Naked Ape family. And he's the guy who's responsible for making sure that our stuff works properly.
Hey, it's good to be here, and thankfully everything's at least working right now.
That it is, sir.
At the moment.
When we hit record.
Okay, listen. It was a small problem, but at least the power didn't go out 2 minutes before the show this time.
Hey, don't jinx it.
That's true.
Let's do this.
All right. So we've got a lot of things on our plate tonight. We are actually doing our movie draft, first movie draft that we've ever done here at Naked Ape and Between the Pages. And we'll be counting down 15 movies that we are all going to bid on to see who makes the biggest pot at the end of the year. And whoever wins the pot, well, we'll see what they get at the end of the year.
Kudos.
Bragging rights.
Bragging rights. Yeah, something like that. But let's get to the news first and foremost. As we've done in the last few episodes, it's been nothing but sad news to kick off the show. Jason, why don't you tell us about that?
Well, famous artist Moebius has passed away at the age of 73. He's best known for the Western book Blueberry, Silver Surfer Parable, and Inkle.
And Inkle. He's also done a lot of movie work as well.
Lots of movie work. He's done plenty of storyboards. He's worked on Aliens and Tron and
Fifth Element.
And Blade Runner, and he sued over Fifth Element too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
Wow.
he thought it was based off of Inkle, and didn't win that one. But
That makes me sad because I thought
he's been involved in a lot of the classics, action and sci-fi stuff that we all know and love. Heavily influenced artists in Europe and Japan, most notably in Miyazaki's Nausicaa Valley of the Wind.
Oh, wow.
Very much looks like Moebius's work in there.
I got to say, this is probably one of my favorite images. I mean, this so embodies the thing. He did such a great job. And then one of your favorite images, of course, is Galactus and the Silver Surfer.
Yeah, right from Silver Surfer Parable. That was written by Stan Lee. And won all sorts of awards back in the 80s when they did that book.
Very cool.
It was a very good book.
So we mourn the loss of Jean Giraud. That's my best French accent, at the age of 73. And if you don't know his work, by all means, Google him and find out what he is most famous for, and get some of his work if you can. It's always a good thing to have something from somebody who is a legend in the field.
You want to see his storyboard stuff, if you have the Tron box sets, there's a whole bunch of his storyboard work in there.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So now we have some news from WonderCon. Thunderbolts are being renamed to Dark Avengers, and they're going with issue 175. They're not even starting with a new...
Well, it's the same writer, it's the same artist. Hopefully it'll smoothly transition over. They're already mentioning it in the background of some of the Avengers books. You know, the Jeff Parker's been doing a great job on that book right now,
right.
With Cory Walker, or Kev Walker, I should say. Sorry. Great job on that book. It's been really fun. I'm hoping at least some of the Thunderbolts lineup sticks around. Really particularly enjoying Mr. Hyde in that book. But I think if you've been following the Avengers books, we can kind of guess who they're going to be based off of Norman Osborn's most recent Avengers lineup
Okay.
with the story that just wrapped up. So we're probably going to get Scar on the team because, everybody needs a Hulk of some sort on their team.
I
This
did
is
go and
true.
look at some of the images from it today, and there really wasn't any. And the news
Yeah.
was pretty small on it too for a big announcement
Yeah,
at
when
WonderCon.
we just got 171 will be out tomorrow, so we're
Right.
still 4 or 5 months away. When we have some artwork for that, we'll put it up and show everybody.
Excellent. Now, Marvel's decided they're going to bring back Captain Marvel, and this time it's with Carol Danvers, the former Miss Marvel. And we've got some images here to show you as well. Maybe you can talk a little bit about that.
Well, don't know too much about it. This is going to be spinning out of X-Men Avengers big crossover event. They've gone for it with an interesting style. It's kind of a mesh between her Miss Marvel outfit and the traditional Captain Marvel
Right.
outfit as well. I'm kind of curious as to why they went this direction. I know why they would want to put Captain Marvel out there. I mean, that's their the name's right there.
Yeah, their main
It's the
guy,
company
right?
name. But Miss Marvel has already made quite a reputation
Oh, sure.
as their own character, and every time they try to retrofit another character into the Captain Marvel identity, it never really works.
I'm
Well,
disappointed by
This one at least has
costume.
a history with it, but yeah, and that's another thing. I really liked the traditional outfit. It's just one of those ones I think transcends time, and this one smacks redesigned 12 issues in. So, I mean, personally, I don't want to knock the hard work on everybody's part over there, but not working for me.
Now I
That
kind
said,
of look
could
at
be a
it this
great
way.
book.
I look at it this way. I mean, it's colorful, it's bright, but it's not the Carol Danvers that I grew up with. The Miss Marvel who got her powers not the way that you would traditionally get them.
Yeah.
She was, basically given them from an alien.
Yeah. And we're not sure what's going to prompt this yet, right?
This is true.
We've got a big 12-part event that this spins out of, and there's a very good chance that this will tie into that story in some way. And who knows? This might not be the Carol Danvers we all know. This could be a whole new universe that we're playing with.
Very much so.
It'll be interesting to see what comes up. We're going to probably see a lot more announcements at future conventions, and most of them are going to be spinning out of this big event.
Okay. So now we've got Greg Pak and Steven Segovia. I'm
Yep, you
probably
got that right.
okay. I thought I was going to mess that up. They are on the new X-Men ongoing Extreme X-Men, which is due out very soon. And let's see if we can go
Yeah,
to
let's go
the
picture
only image that is available from that.
It sounds like they're kind of taking a page out of Exiles a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know too much about this book. It certainly does not tie into the previous Extreme X-Men book from the late 90s, early 2000s.
I like
and
the,
honestly,
I like
I'm
the
not sure
mirror
what I'm looking at.
image.
Yeah, that's I didn't even
Yeah.
notice that before until just now. I was
Like
like,
I'm
wait a
digging
minute.
this artwork. If this is going to be a cover, I'm all about getting the book just for the
Yeah,
cover.
and I think this is a bit of an homage to an old Astonishing X-Men cover. And these characters look like they're probably alternate reality versions, which
Right.
the X-Men are no stranger to these kind of stories.
That's true.
We did have Age of Apocalypse launch last month as an alternate reality superhero book. So this looks something similar.
The one that strikes me the most as being an alternate character would be Nightcrawler, because we've seen that character in dream sequences in the early Kitty Pryde stuff and some of his own dream sequences.
Yeah, well, and the character's currently deceased in the Marvel Universe, which makes me think, okay, alternate reality version.
Right.
There is a Nightcrawler currently running around in Uncanny X-Force, and he's the one from Age of Apocalypse, the one that likes to transport himself around and pop heads off while he's doing it.
Very
Nice.
cool. So that pretty much rounds up most of the news that came out of WonderCon, with the exception of the IDW announcement.
Boy, they've actually got quite a new properties. Kiss, which I didn't put in the notes.
No,
but
you didn't.
I found-
Thanks for telling me. You know I'm a huge Kiss
I only
fan.
found that out today.
Great.
So Kiss is in there. The Crow is yet to be has been announced, but nothing's come out as far as a book yet.
Right.
So we're still waiting to hear about that. Man, what else did I put in the notes?
Well, they're going to be taking on the rights for Judge Dredd.
Right, Judge Dredd.
Mars
That's
Attacks.
a huge pickup. Mars Attacks will be in the next previews, folks. So when at the end of the month, put your pre-orders in for Mars Attacks. That's looking like it's going to be a lot of
This
fun
couldn't
like
be
it was
better
before.
timing for them to get Dredd, though, because the movie's coming out, which we're going to be talking about a little bit later on in the show. And
It's been around a long time.
yeah, it's been around a long time. So
Still one of my favorite comics. Dredd.
I'm curious to see what they do with it, because IDW last year they did the whole zombie crossover thing. This year they're doing another crossover,
Yeah, with
which is undead as well.
Cthulhu-esque infestation. And I'm sure they'll drag some of these new properties into whatever Infestation 3 winds
Sure.
up being. Back to Mars Attacks for a second, maybe that will be the next Infestation.
It would make sense.
Number one is going to have 52 variants for all you collectors out there.
Wow.
52.
Wow.
Why 52, you ask? I'm glad you asked.
Yeah.
They're in the initial Topps cards that came out back in the 60s, or maybe it was even the 50s, it was a 52 card set. Each of the covers is going to be an homage to one of those cards.
Right.
There's a box set coming out. You can buy all of the covers in one go, so you're not running around like a raped ape trying to find all these things. Runs around $200, and it comes with a 53rd cover and a nice box that looks like the old Topps
Right.
collector box.
Nice.
So if you're
At least they're making it easy on you, not just, hey,
Yeah,
by the way, you have
I
to
think
go
you gotta
everywhere.
be a really good fan on that one. I'm like, here's 53 of the same issue.
Oops. Okay, so that kind of wraps up the news. WonderCon really didn't have a whole lot of
Not
news.
a lot of news came out of it. I mean, DC had a couple panels, but they were just kind of reiterating their new launches for the replacement 52 DC stuff.
Right.
And, of course, pushing Before the Watchmen. So nothing we haven't already talked about, nothing we haven't already seen. So probably some more stuff to come a little bit later in the convention season. They're going to want to rock those out first.
Okay.
So we might hear some more at San Diego.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So now we've got what everybody is tuning in for tonight, our big movie draft. Now, we brought in 5 people to do this movie draft, so it wasn't 2 guys bidding over the worst movies that are out there. Okay. I won't say the worst. But we do have quite a lineup of movies. We've got 15 movies in the lineup tonight. And some are comic book, some are genre-esque, and some I just threw in for poops and giggles.
Yes, agreed. There are
Well,
some in there.
not
that
to mention
definitely
the
have
one
pictures
based on a board game.
of- Oh wait, wait till we get there.
We're
We'll
getting
talk
there.
about that when we get there.
No spoilers. So the first movie that we have, and who's got the notes?
I got it right here.
I got some
So
here.
the first one is, of course, The Hunger Games, which actually comes out this Friday. So that's March 23rd, coming up here. And let me just pull out the notes here.
Now, this is based on a series of books that was published by Scholastic. It wasn't published by a major publisher. It went right into the education system.
Yeah, exactly.
This was targeted towards teens, and much like Twilight was for teens, this is going to be another big teen trilogy.
That's the sound of it, actually, too.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be huge with the teen sets. It is a teen book. For me, it looks a lot like the old Battle Royale from Japan.
Right?
Lot of teenagers killing each other. Last one.
Last one standing
Last
wins.
one standing wins. But I know there's more to it. I mean, the Hunger Games is about feeding your family and the whole bit. So I'm sure there'll be more to it, and hopefully they don't go all Twilight on us. And it's like, before I shoot you in the head.
I
Oh,
think
don't
I'll
I
kiss
tell
you.
you.
I'm gonna
Explain
kiss
my
you and love you
emo-ness.
and play
Okay,
with
so
you.
let's get into the trailer. For those people that are watching, we're going to get right into the trailer here. Here we go. And we can talk over the trailer too. It's okay.
Want to see what I
So
got?
it's brought to us
today?
by
It's a
Lionsgate.
Mockingjay pin. As long as you have it, nothing bad will happen to you. I promise.
Welcome and happy Hunger Games.
I just love that. Ladies first. Primrose Everdeen. I volunteer! I volunteer as tribute.
You're stronger than they are.
There's 24 of us, Gail. Only one comes out.
No!
Take care of them, Gail. Whatever you do, don't let them starve.
What did you say to your sister when you volunteered at the reaping?
I told her that I would try to win for her.
And try you will.
I just keep wishing I could think of a way to show them that they don't own me. If I'm gonna die, I want to still be me.
I just can't afford to think like that.
Was that Borat up on the stage back there?
No, that was Stanley Tucci, actually. Funnily enough.
Oscar-nominated.
Yeah, Stanley Tucci.
Stanley Tucci.
Not Oscar-nominated.
Okay,
Borat.
so the Hunger Games opens this Friday.
This Friday, correct.
All right. Anybody going to put an opening bid on the Hunger Games?
Come on.
I'll throw in 5 bananas.
So
Okay.
Cody's going 5 here.
Cody's going to go 5. I think this movie's going to do very well because of that tween market.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And after a video I saw today, it's going to just explode. So you know what? I'm going to go 15 banana bucks.
15 bananas.
15
I'm going to take
bananas.
15 on that
That's
one.
rich, sir.
Wow.
Is anyone else stepping in on that? Anyone
know-
else taking it up?
I will see your 15, sir.
Oh,
I
we
will
got.
see your 15.
Are you going to raise me? You have to raise me in order to
Yeah,
take
but
it.
I want to do it in 5s, and I'm not willing to give it 20.
20. Just go 17, sir. Or 18. No,
I'm going to go 15 and save the rest
So
for the good
15,
stuff.
15 tied here.
Oh.
We
Just
didn't
'cause I
actually
think it's
consider
gonna
Well, see,
rules.
in order for you to win the bid, you have to beat my bid.
I have to win the bid, eh?
Yeah, you have
You
to beat
absolutely
it,
have to
'cause
win.
We, didn't
We
make
can't
any
have the
rules for
same
tie.
movie.
Okay. I will go 20 on this.
20.
I will go 20 on this.
Wow.
I can feel the pain right here. Does anyone want to go higher?
Man, this
for
sucker's
whatever
going to tank
reason?
on me, and that's it.
No,
gonna put me in the
I was
corner.
out at $5, man. This I don't think so.
I was too, admittely. So it looks
I'm
like
going
Jason's
for the
going to
win
take
on
it at
this
20.
Okay, Jason,
Jason at 20.
I'm out at that. That's too
Really?
high for me.
Okay.
Poor Jason.
Pussy.
So Jason has the Hunger Games.
All right, so Jason takes the Hunger Games at 20 on the bid there. So good luck, buddy. I not that I'm saying you'll need it.
I
But
think
good
there's
luck.
going to be some good bank on
I
this
think
movie,
so, actually.
regardless of how I feel about it.
I think how all of
This
us
is
feel
this
about
is
it.
for the girl at home.
Okay, so our next movie here is Wrath of the Titans. And this is a follow-up to the
Clash.
The
Clash
gods are
of the
losing our
Titans
power.
from 2 years ago.
We
Clash of
believe
the
the
Titans.
Titans to be imprisoned forever. Now, they're breaking free.
Sam Worthington returns as the hero
Bring
Perseus.
chaos.
I do enjoy
The
it.
end of the world.
Nobody's as good looking as Harry Hamlin. Come on. Yes.
Perseus, I need your help.
This is for gods, not humans.
You will learn someday that being half human makes you stronger than a god.
Based on this movie,
Now, who's the director of this?
fighting like a human. Next, it'll be tears.
Now quiet.
So Wrath of the Titans is up for grabs. Now, my understanding is the first one didn't do all that well in the theater. It was panned big time. And
it did okay financially, apparently, because
they bought it to
brought
make
back.
a sequel. Exactly.
But critically, not so much.
Yeah, I think they made most of their money on DVD sales. To be
Which
honest
is
with you.
kind of sad because I'm a big
But-
Sam Worthington fan, admittedly.
So who's going
Well,
to
you gotta
start the
remember,
bidding
too,
on this?
With bigger DVD sales, the next movie might do better because people are expecting it to be good.
This is true, sir.
That's
This is
very true.
So I'm going to start the bidding off for this one at 10.
You're going to start it at 10.
I'm
Wow,
going to
that's
raise you
bold.
5.
Oh,
Sucker.
Cody's going to 15 on me?
So Cody's going to 15. What about you, Kev?
Kev, come on, buddy.
I'm sorry. I saw the first one, and I'm not going on this one either. even if they do, like, when you have Marilyn Manson, like you said, instead of something more traditional, they're trying to appeal to people who are like, oh, Marilyn Manson, I want to go. You know, like, I'm sorry, I'll
This
pass.
is true. All right, Cody, you take it, buddy. By the way, release date is, of course, the 30th of March. So that is this month here coming up. So pretty quick.
Yeah, so we got 2 movies opening this month, one on Friday and one at the end of the month. And, wow, those 2 are gone already.
Cody takes it at 15.
And it's shaping up to be another busy summer.
You think?
Yeah, you just wait till you see all the trailers, guys. There's going to be a ton of amazing stuff this year.
So the next movie on the docket, which releases when?
It is, of course, the 4th of May. And if you don't know that date, guess what the movie is, which is, of course, the big guy, the big gun.
Avengers.
Oh, you heard it here, folks. The Avengers.
Now, I'm looking forward to this just because Josh Whedon is director and co-writer of this movie.
That's right. He's a
Screenplay.
true comic book fan. He's written a lot of Astonishing
Yeah.
X-Men along with his own Whedonverse material, Buffy, Firefly. Yeah, he's got his hands in a lot of pies, Runaways.
Dr. Horrible.
Dr. Horrible.
Yeah? All right, let's get to the trailer.
War has started. And we are hopelessly outgunned.
Director Fury, I think it's time.
You here with the mission, sir? Trying to get me back in the world?
Trying to save it.
Doctor, we need you to come in.
What if I say no?
I'll persuade you.
What are you asking me to do?
Replacement for Edward.
It's called the Avengers Initiative.
I thought I didn't qualify. Apparently I'm, what is it, volatile,
Yeah, but I
self-obsessed,
just like
and don't play
his
well with
demeanor
others.
and everything just fits.
I think they need a timeout.
How desperate are you?
You know what feels to me from this trailer? That
And you call on such
other than
lost
the
creatures to
three
defend you.
You have made me very desperate.
We're not a team. We're a time bomb.
I'm not sure.
This is nothing we were ever trained for.
No, I didn't.
Guys, I'm bringing the party to you.
Okay, oh yeah. All right, so there we go.
Looks pretty great.
That is the
In 3D.
Avengers. So okay, first
Thanks,
off,
Promethean.
complaints before we get to the bids. Complaints here because I gotta say,
Complaints.
Cap's costume, it doesn't fit right. It looks not as good as the first one, like from his first movie.
Part of that is because the first one was cool. Like it was such a cool take on the World War II. Like let's not put him in bright blues and reds. Let's get him in something sort of like that fits where he's at. But now you've got him. He's in the present. And it's like, well, let's put him in something more traditional. But he's with these characters who are in their sort of evolved costumes, right? The new Thor outfit and all of that. But Cap still looks so like old-fashioned next to them. I think that's what makes it so blatant.
I suppose I hadn't thought of it that way, but to me, it's also he's missing the bulk that was there in the first one. He doesn't look as big as he was.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, well, I think we'll have to wait and see
how he plays out.
A bit more,
You know, sometimes these costumes make people look smaller because they're so bulked up with pads and whatnot.
Okay, so I'm going to be the fat elephant in the room, and I'm going to start the bidding on this one at 20 bananas.
I'm gonna go 30.
Oh,
30 bananas here.
Anybody else?
30
I'm
bananas
tempted to, but 30 is kind of high for me.
Well, you still got 50 afterwards, so I'm gonna push it to 35.
I'll take it for 40.
Oh!
I think I might have to let you have that one.
40,
I'm going to take it for 40.
Anybody else want to bump up from 40 here?
40?
I think I'll
too rich for my blood.
All right, so I'm going to take the Avengers for 40, and if it tanks, I'm really going to be upset.
That one hurts me a little
That
bit.
does
to let that
actually,
go.
the 40.
It hurts to let that go.
I'll take it at 45.
Oh,
snap.
Oh, I'm not willing to go 50. I'm not even willing to go 45 and a half a banana.
No?
It's yours for 45,
And
pal.
Richard slips on the banana.
I'll take it. So I take it at 40,
Nice.
45 here.
Oh, so what's the roundup? Who's got what so far?
Okay, so far we've got Jason taking the Hunger Games at 20, Cody taking the Wrath of Titans at 15, and of course me taking the Avengers at 45. Again, if this tanks, I am eating it.
Boy, are you ever. All right, so moving right along, our next one is a movie that is based on a Gothic soap opera from 1966 to 1977, I believe.
That'd be
And
Dark
that is Dark Shadows,
Dark
which
Shadows.
is releasing on the 11th of May.
With Johnny Depp playing Barnabas.
Collins, yes. And it is also brought to us by the brilliant and sometimes strange mind.
Deranged?
Deranged, yes.
Ridiculous.
Deranged
Yeah.
is a much better way of saying that. Tim Burton, yes.
Who
So
actually has like multiple movies coming out this year, and
Yes.
on this list as well.
And,
too.
I got to say, wasn't a fan of Alice in Wonderland.
Um,
And this is probably one of the first times I've ever not liked a Tim Burton movie.
Visually, I liked it. Story-wise, I thought it lacked, and I thought that Johnny Depp has played the same character that he played in several other Tim Burton movies.
Yeah, that's true.
There is a similarity there, and I don't know. I'm wondering if he's getting tired of doing them.
That was me and Willy Wonka, admittedly. I did not like Tim Burton's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Really? See,
Yeah, I
now
like
that
the
one I
original.
really liked. I mean, I'm a fan of both, but
Really? Yeah.
one's a lot brighter than the other.
It is, and it's true. I was
True.
just a really big fan of the
Yeah,
first one.
tonally,
the
they're
actors
very
they had.
different.
They are completely separate.
Okay, let's go to the trailer.
I don't think I've seen this one yet.
You might be surprised.
Yeah, it was interesting.
My name is Barnabas Collins. 2 centuries ago, I made Collinwood my home, my love, until a jealous witch cursed me, condemning me to the shadows for all time.
What the hell is this?
He's coming. He's coming.
Hear me, future dweller. What is the year?
1972.
1972. My beloved Collinwood.
The Collins family.
Who the hell is this?
I'm a vampire, madam.
Yeah.
He's not staying with us forever, is he? I like him. Welcome home, Barnabas Collins.
How soon can the horses be ready?
We don't have horses. We have a Chevy.
What sorcery is this?
Reveal yourself, tiny songstress.
Hello, Barnabas. Remember me?
Witch.
You cursed me to be this hideous creature. You may strategically place your wonderful lips upon my posterior and kiss it repeatedly.
What if I made you love me?
With what a spell.
With this?
I must admit, they have not aged a day.
She for real?
Indeed.
If I can't have you, I'll destroy you. And your family.
Missed me. I shall restore the family business to its former glory.
Burn, baby, burn. Fight on, Barnabas. Fight on for us.
And fight I shall.
Love me.
Never. That was a regrettable turn of events.
Are you stoned or something?
They tried stoning me, my dear. It did not work.
Okay, I don't know about you guys, but
It started off so well. So well.
You saw my look, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
The trailer, it does start off so well. It looks like it's going to be this great, dark, gritty, sort of horror-esque gothic movie, and then it turns out to be this stupid-ass comedy.
Don't judge.
Okay.
Don't judge.
I won't.
And
We're
you know
judging
what?
here. That's the whole point of this.
I'm actually noting this one as the sleeper. I'm not even joking. This
Yeah, well,
could be the sleeper in
Tim
our list.
Burton, regardless of what it looks like in the trailer, tends to do well. Like I didn't think the
He
Allison
makes
one
money.
would
I'll
win.
agree.
Agreed.
So it tends to do well, and trailer
You can't judge it too. I know, and that's
makes
what
it
I
look
said.
like at the beginning, like you said, horror and then comedy. So
It could go either way.
It could go either way, and it's probably more of a balance than we're
Than
actually
what we're
seeing
looking.
in this trailer.
Well,
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's hard to kind of keep a balance in a trailer as well.
Yeah.
But the thing about the trailer is it doesn't excite me enough to want to go see it.
And that said, this is on a property that's like 50 years old.
Well, yeah.
It's established.
I mean, there's going to be a lot of people who don't know what this is.
And might check it out just for curiosity's
for the
sake.
prime being the prime demographic being in their 20s to 30s for summer tent poles. That might go against it. Then again, guys as old as Richard will probably go.
I'll wait for it on DVD. I got to say this. I mean, here's a show that I grew up with. I watched this show when it was on television. It was an American soap opera. I originally thought it came from the UK, but it did not. It was actually produced in the US and was a staple for ABC between 66 and 77. And I got to say that, I'm not real impressed with this trailer. I mean, if they had taken this as a really kind of dark gothic trailer, it would have interested me more than the stupid comedy that they came up with in the trailer.
Yeah.
To me, that's all stuff we've seen millions of times. But, I'm going to reserve myself on this. I'm not bidding on this movie. Anybody want to take it? Somebody's got to take it.
I'm going to put $10 on it.
Okay, so Kevin's got 10.
So Kevin's a 10.
Because I got to go with what was said earlier, that even though Tim Burton frequently does well, Tim Burton and Johnny Depp together is going to attract more. Johnny Depp by himself is going to attract a bunch of girls to go see.
Admittedly.
True.
So,
And he's a good looking in this one. Like, he doesn't look too freaky. He actually looks more normal than most of his movies. And he's still a vampire. Oh, ridiculous. Okay, so Kevin's got 10. Anyone else? Again, I'm calling this a sleeper on our list. This could be one that could blow up, or as Jason said, just blow.
I'm cool with the latter.
Somebody's in the chat room watching.
So Kevin's a 10. Anyone else? No? All right, so Kevin takes
Kevin,
the
you
10.
got that cheap.
You got that cheap.
well, that's the way I like it.
Cheap and quick.
I'm telling Max.
Cheap and quick.
Hey, now.
Now, I think the next movie on our list could be a sleeper.
It could be for sure. All right, so
It's very Michael Bay-esque.
oh god, Michael Bay explosion.
I agree. There's a lot that looks like Transformers in this thing.
Oh man.
Now
I think maybe the first 5 minutes are
Irritatingly.
going to be indicative of the game it is based on. And that said, introduce our next movie.
Okay, our next movie is brought to you by the Hasbro Corporation. And it is based on a popular 2-person game called Battleship. Now, I have to wonder, after seeing this trailer, what's the next movie they're going to do? Kerplunk?
Well, I know they got a few more lined up, but I think Monopoly's on there.
Jenga the movie.
Now, before we roll this, I saw the Super Bowl trailer, and I didn't catch it right at the beginning. So I walk in, my dad's watching this thing, and I'm like, what is this? This looks so cool. And then I start realizing what it is, and I felt really dirty.
Now, Liam Neeson is in this movie.
He's in a lot this year, too.
Yeah,
he's
all
is
over
in
the
a lot.
place.
He's in
doing a
Wrath.
lot. His star's really rising.
Yeah, he's in Wrath this year. He's in this one.
There's probably another one somewhere.
I don't know. Let's run the trailer and see what people think.
You sunk my battleship.
Sir, you may want to come take a look at this.
Where did we find it?
Just fished him right out of the water.
Warning red. Weapons
Any bets that she does one of the theme songs?
on everything loaded.
No. Now, what do you think is the latest trailer that just came out?
What the?
The debris field from this is going to cover the entire hemisphere.
Look at that. Transform.
It's still unclear exactly what it was that hit Hong Kong.
Oh my God.
Why didn't they just kill us all?
With water.
What the hell are you doing to us?
Those ships could do this.
What do you think 50 can do, or 500,000?
We're looking at a global extinction event.
All we have to do is start a rumor that Rihanna's going to be, partially naked and probably taken.
Now, my understanding with this movie is that aliens come to Earth and start tearing up each other. There actually is a line in one of the other trailers that our battleship.
Yeah, it does. You have to.
So there we are, Battleship, which could be very much a sleeper.
I'm kind of torn because there's the Transformer-esque stuff about the aliens that I don't dig, but at the same time, it kind of looks cool.
It does. You kind of want to go see it,
and I'm
but
like,
you feel
but
dirty.
the board game was never that cool. I don't remember aliens on the board game either.
I'm going to come right out and say
I
it.
might need to buy the revised version.
I just am tired of this. Make Crisis, okay? You keep pulling out all these wannabes and stuff like that. Make Crisis. I want to see Prophet. I want to see the nanosuit. I'm tired of all these aliens. Like that one movie, what was it? That Sky something movie that came out like...
Oh, yeah, I know.
That was like a direct rip
Skyline.
of Crisis. As far as I'm concerned, that's what they keep doing with these movies. Just make it already.
Well,
do
you know,
it.
and I think Hollywood's a little scared of video game movies because they don't have a good track record.
They are, and it does, but, you know, Crisis 1 and 2 have a wicked storyline. Like, they've built them a great backing to actually build a proper movie behind
the
them.
most successful video game franchise is Resident Evil.
Exactly, yeah.
Which, you know, hey, I love the franchise, doesn't bear much resemblance to the game, but there's some great video game stories out there.
There are.
And Crysis is definitely, I think, one that's worth a look. Halo has been shopped around for quite some time. Peter Jackson was attached to that.
Yeah, he was for a while.
And they weren't going to give him the
I
money
do
he
remember
wanted.
Mortal Kombat 1. Forget any of the other ones. Mortal Kombat 1, when it came out, was, you know, a direct port over that actually worked decently, and then they dropped the ball. Again, we're forgetting the rest of it.
And they picked it back up. Did you watch the
Legacy?
the YouTube stuff?
I actually didn't, but I watched some of the trailers on
good.
it. I heard it wasn't
They're
too bad.
really
actually.
good.
So there is the opportunity there. Hollywood really needs to step
And
up
hey,
to the plate.
if we need a new Indiana Jones type franchise, come on, people. Why don't we have Uncharted yet?
Exactly.
Uncharted.
Yes.
Bring me Uncharted.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, let's
so
get to the
bidding.
dirty business of bidding on this.
All right,
one.
so Battleship, which comes out, by the way, on the 18th of May, for those of you folks paying attention. So 18th of May, who wants this one? Another sleeper on the list.
I'm gonna
I'll
take
throw
this.
5 banana bugs in.
Oh, you're gonna go You're gonna go 5. Okay, I'm gonna go 10.
Yeah, 5 was all I was willing to put out that one. So I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it for 10. I think. Anybody
Yeah,
want to
'cause
challenge
there's a
me?
difference between sleeper and coma, Rich.
Hey, you never know. You never. If Michael Bay is not attached to this movie, it might do well.
Yeah, but it looks like the guy took a card out of Baysplosion's
Playbook?
deck, I guess.
Well,
Yeah,
I think
just
there's
for,
some
you know.
producers in common in this movie.
Probably.
So
that would make more sense. Okay, so we got Code at 10.
No, Code's at 5. I'm at
Code's
10.
5. Rich is at 10. Does anyone else want to bump him? Maybe to 11?
I can't do it. I can't do it.
I'm not
Come
even
on,
going to bother.
Alex, go.
No,
You know you want it.
I'm keeping my whatever little I have left, thank you.
Oh, you're waiting for the dramas, aren't you?
I'm waiting for the dramas and the big ones. Hey, I said Hobbit, and I meant it.
We still have quite a few to go.
We still have quite a few. So Richard is at 10. Anyone else going once? Going twice? All right, Rich takes it at 10.
Another one in there.
He could actually, blow up with this one.
He might win this with all of the little ones.
I'm gonna take all the little bad movies.
All right, so I'm gonna just list it off here. We got Jason with The Hunger Games at 20, Cody with Wrath of Titans at 15, me with The Avengers at 45, Kevin with Dark Shadows at 10, and Rich with Battleship at 10.
All right.
Coming up next, our next comic book movie.
Well, yes and no.
Yes and no. Yeah, actually, it goes both ways.
Yes is yes, because yes. Yes is yes because it started as a comic book, then became a movie.
And was far more popular as a movie.
And was a cartoon that was actually really good.
That's true.
I love the cartoon. It was a good
The
cartoon.
cartoon was good. I'll agree with you
Any
guys.
producers or anybody who worked on that
Need to
cartoon,
find that cartoon.
put it out in a box set. Why aren't you putting it on a box set? Put it on a box set. I want it.
Hey,
that was a really good
They did the
cartoon.
real Ghostbusters as a box set. They should be able to do
Exactly.
this as a box
Men in
set.
Black.
And well,
please.
you know, timing's right. Let's do it.
That's right.
Bring me the box set.
Okay.
I'll buy it.
So the
Gotta
movie
sell
we're
it right
talking about is Men in Black 3, which stars Tommy Lee Jones, Will Smith, and Josh Brolin.
with Barry Sonnenfeld coming back as director.
Oh, awesome.
Nice. That's good news. And, of course, that is the 25th of May on release date. So I have high hopes. I'm going to say it right now.
It's a franchise I enjoy.
All right, so here we go.
May I have everyone's attention, please? Okay, you know your kid won the goldfish in that little baggie from the school fair and you didn't want that nasty thing in your house, so you flush it down the toilet? Well, this what happens. I am getting too old for this.
But this time, you don't have a blue flash, not a red flash.
I can only imagine how you feel.
Promise you the secrets of the universe, nothing more.
So there's some secrets out there that the universe don't know about?
So this looks like it's going to be somewhat of a time.
Kay! Kay!
There is no K. He's been dead for over 40 years.
Yeah, he is the young K.
What?
Somehow history has been rewritten. There has to be a reason this is happening, and K seems to be at the center of it.
You're gonna send me back to 1969.
First, we gotta get high.
My man, for real?
No, I mean really high.
Sounded like
All you gotta do is jump. You've got 24 hours. After that, there is no coming back.
Jeez, I feel like this.
Kay?
How do you know my name?
I'm an agent of Men in Black, but I'm from the future. We're partners.
Okay, future man, where to?
First of all, I'm gonna need my gun. No. Space gun. Is there anybody here who's not an alien?
Can we have a minute?
Damn it, Kay! Are you trying to blow my cover? Whoa, Andy Warhol's one of us? Who's the dumbass? Whoa! You know, I don't have no problem pimp slapping the shiznit out of Andy Warhol. What?
Yeah, these in the future?
That's what I'm talking about. We're running out of time. We're running out of clues. And there's an invasion coming. So really, we need to go right now.
All right.
Hey, man, hey, how old are you?
29.
Oof. So you have some city miles on you.
So there we have it. Men in Black 3. Took them a long time to get the third movie out.
It did.
Mainly because of expenses. At the time, Sonnenfeld was at the top of his game. Everybody was at the top of their game. Will Smith does not come cheap. So I think it was just a case of it was too expensive to make.
Isn't Smith an executive producer on this movie?
I
actually
don't know, but
it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah,
I wouldn't doubt it.
I wouldn't doubt
I
that.
think his money is invested in here somewhere.
Which is probably how it got made, because...
Let's face it, Hancock was no great feat for him.
No, it wasn't.
It came out in a summer with a ton of superhero movies. A lot of people did like it, and it did good money. So... I hope you're ready for Hancock 2, because it's probably going to happen.
Well, they're saying it's next year.
Really?
Yeah.
As early as that?
Yeah,
Wow.
they're saying it's next year. So
I hope they time it a little further away from all these other comic book movies, because it kind of paled in comparison.
we've got a big run over the next couple of years of comic book movies, so it's going to be a tough draw. Sure. So let's open Men in Black 3 up. I'm going to take this one for $20.
I think that's already.
I'm going to have to go up to 30.
Ooh, Cody pushing it.
Beating me. Do I want it for 35?
Well, if you don't, I do.
Oh, Kevin's pushing it to 35.
He took it. He got in there before
Yeah.
Richard did.
Hey,
He said,
families
"I
will
do."
go see Will Smith. So
I actually would too, to be honest. I do want to see this movie, so I know my money will be contributing to this one.
I will
for
be
sure.
definitely on
Well,
that
I'll go
movie.
see it for sure.
So Kevin's at 35. Is anyone going to push it higher on this one?
Who's got money left besides me?
Everyone's got money left, actually.
Oh, okay.
Everyone's around 85,
All right.
except for me. I'm the lowest guy right here, but that's okay. So we got Kevin at 35.
Do I want this one for 40? Or am I going to save my money for... I'm going to save my money. It's yours, buddy.
So Kevin takes it at 35. So
all right.
Nicely done, Kevs. And I agree, this could be a big one for sure. I mean,
yeah,
there's a lot of potential in this from
Yeah.
just even that. So, okay.
Well, not a lot of summer blockbusters are family friendly, and I know Men in Black people, whether it is or not, people perceive it that way because of Will Smith, Tommy Lee Jones, and the first two movies.
Very good point.
Agreed, yeah.
True.
Very good point.
Yeah, for sure.
Now I'm sad I didn't take it for more money.
I know you're saving up for what, Expendables?
See, Kevin.
No, actually didn't even make our list.
No, I don't
yeah,
think
I
there's a
didn't,
trailer
yeah.
for that yet.
There is.
There
There's
is.
several
Is there?
trailers.
For Expendables 2 already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You're watching.
We
it
did.
right
We
after.
did. We decided not to put that one in because it's more action, old guy. So only I would be interested in it anyway. So old guy action.
Yeah,
Well, it's a
Dark
testosterone.
Shadows, Expendables, man.
Hey, the next movie on our list made Ridley Scott a household name, I think. Well, the movie that he did that he's doing a prequel to.
It's not quite a prequel. It's not. I don't think we can call this one a prequel. It's set in the same universe.
Yeah, that's how he said it.
I'm going to
Yeah,
call this
he
one
said
an
you
origin
can.
movie.
Yeah, that would be kind of closer to
Yeah,
the
okay.
truth. It is
Yeah,
a
we'll
little bit that way.
Get there.
This feels more
you
like
might
an
not
origin
see what you're thinking you're going to see in this movie.
You're
based
not
on the trailer that we're going to
going
watch.
to.
Okay, let's
At all.
see.
Let's roll the
Let's
trailer.
roll this one up.
So this is Prometheus, which is brought to us by Ridley Scott, who brought us the original Alien movie. And to me, this feels like it's going to be a origin movie to what Alien ultimately became. And this stars Charlize Theron and Fassbender from X-Men.
Magneto.
Yes.
A king has his reign. And then he dies. It's inevitable.
Prometheus has landed.
ancient civilizations that were separated by centuries, and yet this same pictogram was discovered in every one of them.
They're smiling.
I think they want us to come and find them.
We're all here because of a map you two kids found in a cave.
Not a map. An invitation.
From whom?
Please tell me you can read that.
Now, there's a huge amount of
Are you seeing
Geiger-esque
this?
influences in this movie.
And rightfully so, he came back.
Whatever that probe is picking up, it's reading life form.
What do you mean a life form?
Oh, the head.
They're changing.
Changing into what?
It's moving? These things moving?
What is that?
There's a ship. They're leaving.
To go where?
Earth.
We were so wrong. Take us home! If you don't stop it, there won't be any home to go back to.
Why is that door open? Cut it off! Cut it off! Big things have small beginnings.
So there's Prometheus.
Very amazing. That one is a very chilly. I actually get chills when I watch that one too.
That makes me want to go see it, to be honest.
It looks fantastic. It really does.
Now, based on the imagery from the original Alien movie, which was done by H.R. Giger, it makes noise.
He looks freaky. I don't know if you've seen a picture of the guy, but like the guy looks creepy.
Yeah, he does.
Pervert-esque.
Yeah. I'm going to have to say that this movie is going to be the big sleeper of the summer.
Well, and I think it's going to reinvigorate people's interest in the Aliens franchise. And let's face it, it kind of ran its course. The universe needs expanding. We do want to see more aliens, but I think we want to see them in a different capacity at this point instead of being a survival horror film.
Yeah.
I think that's played out.
It's been done too many times.
It's been done too many times. Really, the movie's franchise has not gone forward a single step. In fact, it's probably stepped back since the second one.
I would say that too. And actually, I was talking to Richard earlier when we watched this trailer. He didn't know that I knew as much as I did because I saw this trailer way back when it first came out. And I started reading up the wiki and the comic books and how far back this goes. And people don't realize that this universe is actually tied into the Predator universe.
Yes, well, that was kind of there was a nod that happened in Predator 2 with the Predator, the alien skull on the Predator wall.
On the trophy
ship.
wall, yeah.
And that's what everybody suddenly linked these together. And thus we got the 2 Alien Predator films and a boatload of comic books that are really worth reading.
They are
and 2
interesting.
movies, not so much.
No, but actually, admittedly, ignoring the actual Predator versus Alien movies, just looking at some of the history and going back to this one about the space jockeys and the Predators, you realize that their universe encompasses so much more than just us. We were this tiny little dot in the center of it all. And without getting too deep, because I really don't want to ruin it for anyone, you really should take the time to go do a look for yourself and search, because there's some crazy, wicked stuff that actually makes me more excited to see this movie, because you get to see the space jockeys and what they're really all about.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the big thing for this. So don't go for the xenomorphs because they're just not there. And, Ridley Scott said that. He's like, this isn't going to be an alien movie. So if you're expecting that, don't come for it. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, there's going to be a nod to the Weyland
I
Corporation.
think we're going to see the beginnings of what the alien race is or was or how they're created. And I think that's what this whole thing is about.
Yeah. Bioweapons.
I believe that's what they were designed as a weapon.
Yeah.
They were not something that evolved naturally. They were designed as a weapon.
They say it right in the first movie.
Oh, they did,
They
did they?
are perfectly designed.
As a weapon, yeah.
Yeah.
So the space jockeys come, drop it on a planet, and then after they were done clearing it up, they clean it up. So, all right, let's open up the bidding here. This is the 8th of June for this movie, too, on the release date, just in case you're paying attention. So who wants this one? Because, of course, this is a big one.
I'll start it out at 20.
You're going to go at 20?
I'll start it out at 20.
You know what? I'm going to jump the shark on that one. I'm going to go 30.
Ooh, 30. Not a bad choice, to be honest. Anyone else want to step in on this?
I'm not going for those bananas.
So, Rich at 30, Cody, how do you feel? Or did we lose Code?
No, Cody's still here.
Code's still here? I don't know.
Yeah, no. I would, but looking down our list of other movies, I think I'm going to hold off.
All right, so Jason, how you feel, dude?
I'm kind of holding out for something special myself, but well, let's see if I can squeak this in. I'll go for 35.
Oh, you bastard!
Yeah,
35.
You just want to take it away from me, don't you?
Well, either that or bid you up so you can't spend it elsewhere.
thinking right here.
If I take it at 40, that means I've spent 50.
You guys are spending 5. Like, you can spend, non.
Yeah, but if I take it at 40,
numbers.
I know we can do it at 1s and 2s, but that's no fun.
That's right. That's exactly it.
We want to knock somebody out so they can't get some of the other movies.
We're playing poker here.
You know what? I think this movie is going to do well based on the previous history of the universe, so I will take it for 40.
40.
Well, I think there's some genuine excitement out there for that. And I think you
40.
fell for my bait, so I'm going to let you have that for 40.
Oh, he
All
did.
right.
So Rich takes it at 40. That's awesome.
So I've blown half my wad of bananas.
Hey, at least you didn't do it all on one movie. So.
That's true.
Feel good about that.
So now we're down to the movie that kind of, why did they make this movie?
Oh man,
this is a movie that A, does not belong in the summer lineup at all. B, it's done by another movie by Tim Burton.
No.
Yes.
What are you looking at?
No. This is Timur Bekmambetov.
No, Tim Burton has hands
What
in
did
this
you
movie.
say?
Timur
I skipped ahead.
Bekmambetov.
Yes, it is Timur Bekmambetov.
It's Tim.
It's by Tim.
Okay
then.
So for our American friends,
written by Seth Graham Smith. This is Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter, based on the best-selling novel.
Best-selling, hey?
I
want to know who
Seth
bought
Graham
it.
Smith has sold a ton of stuff.
Oh, okay.
He started off with those Pride, Prejudice, and zombie type stuff.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, all those sold huge numbers. So, and Abraham Lincoln's doing very well. And Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies, another movie coming up.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So
okay, let's run the trailer.
This
so we
could
can
be
make
a sleeper,
the jokes
guys.
afterwards.
This could be a big sleeper. Yeah.
This could. I'm defending the book.
And I heard, as it were, the noise of thunder.
I dig that they got
Behold,
Johnny
was death saying, "Come and see."
History prefers
Tim
legends
Burton is a
to
producer.
men. It prefers nobility to brutality. Soaring speeches to quiet deeds. History remembers the battle, but forgets the blood. However, history remembers me before I was a
Said
president.
he directed once.
It shall
Was
only
that,
remember
bullet twisting movie?
Yes.
a fraction of the truth.
And hell will follow me.
There is darkness everywhere, Mr. Lincoln.
My mother was murdered. I can see the rage burning.
Tip the balance for the good of all mankind.
Underestimated the Johnny Depp pull.
I shall kill them all.
It's time we had a nation of our own. This war ends tonight. Only the living can kill the dead.
just right. You got to play something like this, semi-serious with the tongue firmly planted in the cheek, just riding that edge.
Okay.
I mean, you don't want to go full off into farce, and then it's a scary movie or something.
Well, as I said before, I'm surprised Abraham Lincoln himself, once this movie comes out, doesn't just get up off the memorial and is like, I'm done with this country, and just leave. But actually, hearing you, Jason, explain it, it actually does sound a little bit better. And originally, when I first saw the trailer, I thought that was Benedict Cumberbatch on the horse, because it looks like him, and I was like, oh man, I'm excited. I know, and then I was like, wait, that's not him. Okay, never mind, forget this.
I was very happy when he got cast in Star Trek.
Oh yeah, I know. Which, by the way, we do want to mention Benedict Cumberbatch is going to play a major role in the next Star Trek,
from what I understand.
Really, either way, gonna be awesome. If you don't know who he is, check out Sherlock Holmes from BBC. Wicked show.
Yes, Sherlock, not Sherlock Holmes, because you're going to come up with a shitload of stuff.
That's right. Martin Freeman plays Watson. Also a good thing to note, because he does an amazing job as his.
And, they're both in a movie we're going to be running a trailer for a little later on.
Yes. Now, anybody going to open up?
Okay, so this is the big one.
You're going to throw 5 at it?
I'll throw 5 at it.
I'll toss in 10.
Oh,
Cody's pushes it to 10.
I'm sorry, on this movie, it's just a little too rich for me. Although I'm Canadian, I have relatives and friends from the U.S., and I just think this could be a huge insult to the statute of Abraham Lincoln.
People are going to get upset no matter what. This movie is just going to do it. I'm sure the book did the exact same thing no matter what anyways, so...
See, yeah, that's how I'm looking at it. Because it's going to raise controversy, people are going to go see it.
Controversy sells.
Controversy sells. Yeah, there's no such thing as bad publicity.
I think you guys are being optimistic on this.
I don't know. Okay, so who...
That may be true, but... I don't know. I'm willing to bet on it.
Does anybody have the opening date on this? Is this going up against
actually
anything?
22nd of June.
Is it going up against anything?
It's Actually, it is. It's going out again. It's going up against GI.
Oh,
which is our next movie on the list.
Next movie on the list.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. But I think it would probably edge that one out.
Yeah,
honestly.
it could. All right, so code's a 10.
Code's
Anyone else want to push it?
Sorry, I can't do it.
Code. Or Kev?
No, I'm out.
Okay, I think I'm not going to step in. This is too much of a bit of a push for me too. So
Cody, you got a cheap one.
I'm waiting up.
So, but you got a good sleeper to take it. Exactly, you could take it. There's no doubt about it. Bringing us into our next film, which is of course the 29th of June, so following week after this one, and this is of course, one that I actually am kind of looking forward to. I didn't quite so much enjoy the first one. It took me a little bit to get into it. I
didn't mind it.
I just found it a little too campy. I don't know. I couldn't take it seriously enough.
And we're talking about G.I. Joe here, and when I shut off my childhood, I actually wound up enjoying the movie a great deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, you guys all grew up with the little G.I. Joe figures. I had the big 12-inch adventure G.I. Joe.
Which sounds
Size
badass.
doesn't matter.
Agreed. Why you got to bring that into this?
Yeah, why you got to bring size
Come
into
on
it?
now.
Why you got to be that way? So, so this generation of G.I. Joe feels not quite right to me. I mean, if they had gone back and done like the classic G.I. Joe, to me, I think it would have been, especially with the first movie, instead of taking all the characters from the animated series and taking them from the comic books and so on and so forth, I think that they would have had a much better movie overall. But that being said, let's run the trailer and people can make up their own minds. Bruce Willis is in the trailer, as well as The Rock, who plays a major character.
You want to make a difference.
Make ready, let's go!
Risk your life for a better world. But some things you never see coming.
Security's early.
You with me?
Yeah, quite a few.
Today, the world's elite fighting force betrayed our nation.
On my order, the G.I. Joes were terminated with extreme prejudice.
They're all dead.
We were set up right from the start. We're all that's left. Let's move. World ain't saving itself.
Yeah, that's an interesting
We have to assume that there's no one we can
an audience that isn't us. Like, I think this was big for the kids the first time around.
Yeah.
And it's going to be big with the kids again this time around.
But
as
I
well.
actually feel that this has more of an adult feel. It's going to deliver
From the
a bit
trailer, I'll
more.
agree with you. Yeah,
Yeah, I
You
think
know,
there's something
actually,
for
I
everybody
feel
on this
like I
one.
can get into this one more, unlike the first one. Like Sidewinder, completely useless. He really just. I was like, you don't need a Wayans brother in this. What the hell are you doing? Like, this is.
He was
unnecessary.
Ripcord.
He was. Oh, Ripcord.
Ripcord
Sorry,
in the
yes.
first
No
one. Yeah.
movie needs a Wayans brother.
No movie needs a Wayans brother. Unless it's Damon. Okay, I'll watch
give you
Damon.
I'll
See,
give
there
you
you go.
Damon. He's the only one with talent.
But I will say this one, I am looking forward to it, and I did not look forward to the first one. I didn't watch it. I really hope they make Cobra better too. They don't bring back that little guy again.
And
I'm
you know
kinda
what? I
hoping
think
someone-
maybe
The
that's
little
why I
guy.
like.
I don't even remember what the hell his name
think
is.
that's
The
why I
guy who
like the
ended up
first
being
one.
Cobra Commander.
Yeah. Well, no, the little guy that played Cobra Commander.
Oh, that was
Yeah, that actor.
the
I don't mind
kid
if it's an
from
actor,
30 Rock or
Yeah, Third Rock.
from the Sun.
Oh, right.
I just never remember his name. I like him as an actor. Did not think he was suited for that role in any way, shape, or form.
I think if you like the first one, you go in with some lower expectations and you get pleasantly surprised. So it looks like they've stepped up their game. They've replaced their director with John Chu. Not really familiar with a lot of his work, but definitely looking like a superior sequel. So.
Yeah, admittedly too.
I will agree with you there. There is a superiority to the sequel over the first movie. I have the first movie. I mean, I enjoy watching it from time to time because it does have some good action in it, and there's some nods back to that 80s style of Yo Joe and you know, without with knowledge comes whatever that line was.
It's not knowledge is power, because I was like, that's Schoolhouse Rock. So I always want to say that. I'm like, that's not right.
See,
That's
in the
Schoolhouse
80s,
Rock.
I was already an adult, man.
See,
so
we should have loaded up a PSA
Yeah.
to go along with this.
Yeah. Well, I actually have all of the G.I. Joe animated series upstairs in the DVD collection.
I've got them all too.
Nice.
In fact, Series 2, Season 1 is out as well. I don't know if you've picked that up yet.
No, I've got the Footlocker of the original series.
I didn't even know there was a Series 2
Oh.
until I picked up the
Interesting.
disc. So,
Wow.
and it does pick up where the movie left off. So,
So G.I. Joe, who's going to start it out?
I'm gonna put in a 10 on that one.
Anybody else?
that's already too rich for my blood.
I'll pass.
Bruce
Yeah, I'll
Willis?
pass. I wasn't a fan of the original movie. Actually, I never even saw it. So
They kind of ruined it for me because they had that cool trailer where they showed the Eiffel Tower disintegrating into green stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And then they made you spend like 25 minutes of the movie wondering whether they're going to get that rocket. And I'm like, of course they're going to get that rocket and shoot the Eiffel Tower. Like, I've seen it on the commercial.
enough.
So why give me this 25-minute chase scene?
Which brings us
just
to completely ridiculousness of trailers.
Yeah.
And how, as an audience, North America, we have no one to blame but ourselves that people do that with trailers, and it annoys the heck out of me.
Do you know what I find though? Those trailers that are really, really good, that go, oh yeah, I want to see that movie because it looks so good. You end up going to the movie and being horribly disappointed because everything that you saw in the trailer was the best parts of the movie.
parts of the movie.
That's right.
And the audiences have gotten used to it and almost demand it now. And it's like, seriously, we're not that stupid. Give us back some of that mystery. Make me pay to see more of the movie than just the trailer.
Well, and I think the comic book movies have shown that if you stay true to your franchise, you're going to do well. And I think that's why it had trouble getting out of the gates. Is it was quite a different entity.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
well, they're kind of
Baroness,
picking
no
up
accent.
where the last movie left off, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because we have Zartan, who's disguised as the president of the United States, which happened at the end of the last movie.
Yeah, they do pick
And
right up.
he's now going against the Joes, as it were, and trying to wipe them out as a military force from the inside. So it makes sense that Cobra is taking over the U.S. Now, of course, in the trailer we saw Cobra Commander's face shield. However, we did not see Destro.
No.
I wonder if Destro is going to be one of the casualties of the film.
Yeah, there's a lot of characters from the last movie that are not returning, and it looks like Destro's probably going to be one of them, which is unfortunate. He as
had
an
a really
animated
interesting way to
character, he
take
was
it.
one of my favorites. But
they could have taken it somewhere, I think, with him in an interesting way, especially with the plated.
I wouldn't mind him showing up in the proper helmet.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we never really got that out of the last.
You get the
movie.
get the nano going over. You see like the back of his head, and that's it. You never get the full frontal visual of the new, the new helmet kind of deal. So it's me a 10. Anyone else want to step up again? This could edge out the vampire one, like Lincoln. Kicking some ass with the axe.
I think they're probably going to rake in about the same amount of money.
So it's me a 10? Me and 10 alone, eh?
Just you, buddy.
I think
it's
so.
It's all yours.
That's fine.
I can hear the crickets going in the
They're just like,
background.
Alex Terry. All right. So with that being said, that brings us to our next one. It's a July 3rd release. It is another reboot. Now, before we even go forward, I'm going to ask the question: how many times can you reboot before it gets ridiculous?
Okay,
I'm
going to back off on this a little bit because I think people are too harsh about this. We're going to get a Batman reboot at some point. In fact, we've already had it once already.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we're going to get it again before probably in a couple of years. This is Chris Nolan's last one coming up. Spider-Man, same thing. I mean, we had Sam Raimi's vision. Now it's time for somebody else's.
Okay.
And I the way I see it is just this is a different rendition, a different vision, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You just gotta put that aside. Those movies that
Box
you
it
loved,
away, hey.
those Sam Raimi movies you loved, excluding the third one,
Yeah,
that you
please
loved,
put that
are
star
still
there.
there for you to love.
Yeah.
This is something different. They're going to throw different characters at you in a different kind of pacing and storytelling. The budget's not going to be quite as high, but this was the last go-round. Spider-Man was a huge box office winner all the way through, even to the crappy third one.
Even the crappy third one, people
They
paid for
did
it.
baffle box office. So
So there's no reason this one.
There's no reason this can't.
And you do remind me of that. You know what? Don't judge it. It's just 3 tainted me so badly. It's like the X-Men. It tainted so badly that for them to reboot at any point, it hurts inside. To just be like, I really don't want to get my hopes up just at all, in case of that tiny bit.
Now
where
that
they're
I've
like,
built you up, I'm going to tell you right now, this doesn't look that great to me. But
okay, well, let's run the trailer again. This is brought to us by Sony Pictures, and we have a whole new cast of characters playing the parts that were played in the
there's no
the other ones.
recurring actors, I think, at all.
No. So this is The Amazing Spider-Man.
How did you get out there?
Fire escape.
It's 20 stories.
The doorman's intimidating.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, Mr. Parker.
Not much to tell, really.
Peter lives with his aunt and uncle.
Did you catch that spider guy yet?
No, but we will. This guy wears a mask like an outlaw.
I think he's trying to do something maybe the police can't,
Peter
man.
Parker was with the web creation.
If you're gonna steal cars, don't dress like a car thief.
You a cop?
You seriously think I'm a cop in a skin tight red and blue suit?
Who are you?
I know it's been rough for you, Peter.
Right.
I forgot all about that thing. It was your dad's.
father was a very secretive man, Peter.
Dr. Connors, I'm Richard Parker's son.
Your father and I were going to change the lives of millions, including mine. Extraordinary. How did you come up with this? There's a rumor of a new species in New York. It can be aggressive if threatened.
We've been wanting to see that from the first movie.
I gotta stop him, because I created him.
That's not your job. Maybe it is.
38 of New York's finest versus one guy in a unitard.
If you want the truth, Peter, come and get it.
I am issuing an arrest warrant for the masked vigilante known as Spider-Man.
I'm in trouble.
I don't think the CGI is going to be as polished as we've seen in previous iterations.
I don't think it's as high, and I really,
They were talking 250 million on the previous films. This one, I don't know what the final budget was because the budget adjustments happened all the time, but the initial pitch was around 80 million.
Wow.
So that's a significant drop.
Wow.
but it could make a lot more money too with that.
Exactly.
Aspect, right? They have
There's
the potential there.
Potential for a huge profit margin.
Now, when does this one open?
This one is July 3rd, so I mean, pretty close on the G.I. Joe thing, but with the hopes behind it,
I think it's
could.
gonna
I think
open
it's gonna.
pretty
I
big.
think it's gonna open pretty big
Regardless
too.
of reboot, I think it's going to open pretty big.
And you're right. People will probably give it the chance. I'm trying not to keep my hopes up. You know, hopes deleted at this point as well.
Yeah, like I know myself, I've always been kind of a Spider-Man fan, and I'm actually willing to give this a chance. It looks quite interesting to me.
Put the money where the mouth is, sir. What
Where
do
the
you got?
mouse is.
Where the mouse is. So
I'll throw in 15 off the bat.
Ooh, big spend.
I'll bump that up to 20.
I'm going to take a pass on Spider-Man. My wife is going to kill me, but I'm going to take a pass on Spider-Man.
All right, so
I'll go 20.
Jason to 20. Kev, how do you feel?
I'm going to pass as well, even though, like, all of the reboot stuff aside, July 3rd is a great opening day.
Yeah.
But I'm going to pass.
Code?
I'm going to throw up to 25.
Oh, he bumps ya. Ooh. But you got to be careful with... You got to be careful,
Yeah, I know.
see? Because Jason's playing poker here, with this roundup. So code to 25. Jason doesn't even look like he's bothering
No, I'm good
push
now.
it. So code goes to 25. So very nice. So that bumps you... What are you at, actually, Cody? You're at 55 now,
That's
right?
exactly halfway through my allotted bananas.
Oh, wait, yeah, it puts you at 50. Okay, that's fine.
Oh my goodness,
I
because
am-
I'm halfway through mine too.
Oh, I'm less than half.
I
beyond
still
you
have
guys,
80
so.
to go.
He does.
Oh, you do?
Someone's got to bump him in. Someone's got to poker him out here because he's gonna take the big ones coming up here.
You know
which
what?
Is, of course,
I think he's going to try and take the big ones, but well, let's wait and see.
because looking at the list, I just see what's coming up next. Release date is of course July 20th, and if you have been paying any attention, you'd know what we're talking about. Speaking of reboots, last one on Christopher Nolan's vision of what I feel personally to be an amazing trilogy. And
He's
that
done
is,
a
of
great
course,
job.
He has.
There's nothing I haven't liked about it.
I've seen 6
Greatest
minutes of this movie.
Can you see
It looks amazing.
by the dawn's early
So here we see
You
Bane
are
for the
as
first
precious
time.
to me as you were to your own mother and father. I swore to them that I would protect you, and I haven't.
twilight's last gleam.
The mayor's gonna dump him in the spring. Really? Mm-hmm. But he's a hero, a war hero. This is peacetime.
You think this can last? There's a storm coming, Mr. Wayne. You and your friends better batten down the hatches. Because when it hits, you're all gonna
thought you could live so large and leave so little for the rest of us.
What does that mean?
Rise.
When Gotham is ashes, you have my permission to die.
Stopped talking during that trailer should tell you just how excited we all are and how much we respect the films, to be honest.
Yes.
Right there, with just that little bit of noticing it. First off, I'm going to start with the complaints of the original trailer when it first came out that people had the Bane mask thing.
And I saw it, I was there. I think people were making the wrong complaint. It was, I think, he sounded fine. I mean, there was that muddle like you should have behind a mask.
Exactly.
Problem is, the background noise was overpowering. It was too high.
You couldn't hear him quite as clearly as you should have.
It completely lost the dialogue of Bane already muffled through a mask.
Whereas in the actual movie, you'd imagine though he's going to be talking at the times where it will be quiet. Bane wants to be heard. He is that character. You don't
I
just throw him in.
saw that trailer early on, and from what I understand, new sound mixes went out a little later on and improved it. We stopped hearing the complaints. So hopefully that's fixed up and in the final product, and we won't have any problem with that because we shouldn't have subtitles for somebody who's speaking English.
Or the voiceover, which Nolan refused to do, by the way. I remember reading that people were like, oh, just get him to voice it over in the studio. And he was like, no, it's not going to happen. Don't even ask for it.
Yeah, it didn't need an ADR. The performance was great, and I can understand why he wouldn't want it. But they needed to remix on the background. You got explosions and stuff happening around you need to fix that, because if you're losing half the dialogue in the action sequences,
agreed.
Then,
you're not doing the movie any justice.
Pissing off a lot of people.
Yeah. The stadium blow up scene. I love that scene. There's just
little hairs.
Nothing like
looking
looking behind him, and you're just like, what the hell is going on?
I gotta say that right near the end, when we saw the very first bat plane come around the corner with the Batmobile on the street, looks amazing.
Yeah.
To me, that sold me right there. I could care less that Anne Hathaway is playing Catwoman. Who gives a rat's behind?
Yeah, and I don't even care
speaking
either
of behind,
about
I think it looks really good.
Yeah, well, she looks good on the bike, but I think they're going to take her character and make it much of a bit player character. It looks like to me. I can't see her teaming up with Bane.
No. You got to trust in Nolan. He hasn't done any of these movies as team up movies. He's always put two characters in there, and they tend to play off each other in the plot, but they're never teaming up. So I trust in Nolan on this one. It's not going to be a team up. I'm glad it's not going to be a team up. That annoys the shit out of me during movies. Hopefully it should all make sense. Well, I think it's going to be somewhat love interest.
My understanding with this movie, though, is they've got a full basket of characters. We've got Batman, we have Bane, we have Catwoman, we also have Talia al Ghul.
That's right.
That is, a little bit of a surprise for you guys out there.
Who the hell is Joseph Gordon-Levitt playing? We don't know.
He's playing one of the cops.
Oh, okay.
One of that we see later in the comic book series. I think he's that blonde-headed cop in the comic book series. The one who's always, it's not quite the big guy. What is his name? The big donut-eating cop.
Bullock.
Oh,
Bullock.
Yeah.
He's
playing
not.
Bullock?
No, he's playing the opposite of Bullock.
Renee Montoya? I don't
No. There was a character that showed up in the comic books in the animated series who was not as brash, but was very much a cop's cop.
Yeah, I'm not sure
I'm
who
not-
you're
A
talking
blonde
about.
character, I can't remember his name, but
It's
anyway.
not the one that Gordon beats up from Batman Year One.
No.
Because I
no,
was
no,
like, that guy
no.
never shows up. Okay,
No.
I'm just making sure that's not where you're going.
No.
But I do agree with Jason. Trust in Nolan. I mean,
Yeah.
he has done
Somebody
nothing
pull up
wrong with these
IMDb, it'll tell us.
Well, you can
Well,
do
you
it
know
faster
what?
than I can, but
I could, but I'm not going to do it because I think I wanted some surprises.
exactly,
out of
I
this
agree
one,
too
so.
fully. You know, and I did have a couple friends that were like,
We'll
"We
do
didn't
this
like
one
this."
after the show.
They
Okay.
felt that this movie took itself too seriously, and I was like, "How can you say that when the whole point behind it is it's probably the realest Batman that's ever been?"
They are
You know.
grounding this as much in reality as they
As
possibly
possible
can
can.
for a comic book film.
And they've done such a beautiful job with it. Like I love them. I love every single one of them. I thought, you know, everybody that's won an award for it, including the late, of course, deceased
Heath Ledger.
Yeah, he deserved it. He did an amazing job.
He pulled a performance.
It
of his
is.
career
It
out
was
there.
next to impossible to follow Jack Nicholson in that role. I'm sorry, no
Yeah.
one could
Yeah.
do it, and he did.
I mean,
it.
Jack Nicholson, Cesar Romero.
The guy couldn't even be bothered to shave off the mustache when he put the.
That's
paint
what made
on.
him cool.
But you know, to
Well,
me,
you
it
could
was
go even
difficult.
further with Mark Hamill too.
Oh,
Yeah?
wow.
Yeah.
He's the voice of the
He's the
Joker.
voice. Yeah, I mean, if they had just
Yeah.
even put in Heath and said, "Hey, Mark voiced it," I would have been like, "Okay, that's fine." But you know, to deliver it the full-fledged, influential way, I mean, hanging with
Yeah.
your head out of a window, driving a car while laughing and maniacally—that's just
Okay,
perfect.
I have an answer from one of our listeners to the Joseph Gordon-Levitt. John Blake?
John Blake.
Does that ring a bell to
Yes,
anybody?
it does. Yes, Blake. Yeah, the cop Blake. Yeah, I know.
Okay,
I
'cause
know who they're talking about.
I don't.
He's the blonde guy.
He's not
he
from
is.
the animated series, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, he shows up in the animated series a
don't
couple times.
remember him
I
at
don't
all.
remember
I
Blake,
don't
unless he's
remember.
Montoya's partner, other than when she's not with Bullock.
Yeah, I do
So-
not.
He shows
remember
up
this
a
dude.
few episodes.
Skipping over
Okay.
that, it's The Dark Knight, July 20th. Who's going deep on this one? Jason has been biding his points. He's been edging everybody out. Come on, let's give it to me. What are you dropping?
Okay, well, I'm going to start this sucker out at 30.
Okay, Jason has 80 points. Just to let you guys know, he's at 80 because everyone's got to keep
Well,
each
I'm
other
gonna
on the
start
totals.
big on this one.
On 30,
Wow.
I want this one.
high there. Okay, who else is edging in? Come on, you can't let him just take it for 30. I mean, he's still got so many to go.
You guys all know how big a Batman fan I am. And that would mean the last 4 movies in our list, I would totally have to drop out of. But I don't care.
But you're gonna do it.
Do
How much
it.
you got?
I'm going
Do it.
50, babe.
Oh, he's
50?
going 50.
Yeah, you
That's
bet.
I'll see your
his
50
entire.
or 55.
Oh,
I'm
you
taking
son of a
it.
gun.
Oh, 55
I
to
knew that would
Jason.
happen.
Who else is stepping up to
I
this
can
one?
outbet you.
55.
I thought you were going to hold on because there was other movies you
This is the
wanted.
one I've been waiting for.
I was gonna say I knew it was.
I knew I should have not bid on anything else.
All right,
I
so
can't go past 50. Anybody want to lend me some bananas?
you know what? We'll allow that too.
No,
by the
you
way.
won't.
Just to edge him out. So 55 bananas. The only people that can match you is actually Kevin, and he can only match you.
He can't beat him.
He can't beat him.
Well,
he
then-
can only
Can't
give
beat
him
him.
If
55.
you can't beat him, then Jason's got it for
So
55.
Jason takes Dark Knight Rises for 55. Oh, that's smarts.
Wow.
That's smarts here. Of course, Jason playing poker with the banana bucks tonight.
That's
Doing a
right.
great job.
Wow.
We have to do another one of these because this is fun as all hell.
I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting anybody to be taking, like, only one person was going to have enough for Batman, and I knew that wasn't going to be me, so.
Honestly, I didn't think I was going to do Avengers. I will admit that. I just knew
I
it was
figured
a good
Jason would
solo.
let me have
I was a
Batman.
little worried
Yeah.
when I won on Hunger Games.
So,
I actually thought, oh, I'm screwed.
so totals now, as of right now, I'm at 45. Kevin's at 55. If I'm wrong, correct me, by the way, and don't you can't cheat. Cody's at 50, Rich is at 50, and Jason is now at 30, but still taking one of the big ones of this year.
Yeah.
I mean, a guaranteed.
Now, the next movie
yeah.
on our list we don't have a trailer for,
Oh no, we do not.
which is a remake
Ah.
of an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. They haven't done a trailer for it.
Yeah, we went looking. I mean, it is what it is. It is, of course, coming out August 3rd, and we are talking about Total Recall.
With
Total Recall.
Colin Farrell in the lead role that Arnold Schwarzenegger made so famous.
And you know,
Mixed
Really?
feelings about
yeah.
this.
So that's what I thought too. And yet, looking at some of the images that people posted from video of them filming it, it kind of has an interesting
Well, you know,
look.
it looks like the main plot is there, but it does look like a different movie to me. So
kind of Minority Report-ish.
They're definitely going to be upping the ante in the special effects.
Absolutely.
I mean, when the first one came out, they were pushing the special effects at the time. There wasn't a lot of CG happening, so they were doing robotics and the splitting
And the
head
puppets and stuff,
thing,
yeah.
And
all I want is the nose
crazy
scene.
cars.
If there's no nose scene in this one, I will be extremely disappointed. That and, of course, the triple bosoms, because you got to have those in.
Okay.
So 2 things minimally required here, guys. If you're paying attention, please.
They will up it. I don't know. Maybe it'll be 4.
The quad movie.
Quad. No, that's just wrong.
That's one too many.
It's one too many.
I've seen Paul.
Yeah, you're disgusting. So Total Recall, we don't have a trailer.
We don't have a trailer.
Yeah, we just
we don't. That's one of the ones we do. There's no trailer out for it yet.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised at this one that there's nothing sitting out there.
Especially since it's coming this year.
Under wraps. They're keeping it really under wraps. I think they're going to wait until the big numbers start coming in from the summer, because this doesn't come out till August, right?
This is August 30th.
Yeah.
So
Well,
they
I actually have a prediction. I think this movie's going to get pushed down the pike a little bit.
You think they'll maybe
They're going to move it up?
I'm thinking just because they don't even have a teaser out yet that they're not going to be ready for the August.
For August, do you think they'll bump it to January?
I think there's a strong possibility. Well, I don't think it'll be a January opening. Christmas.
November,
if you
December.
don't see a Christmas opening, it's going to bump till next summer.
Yeah. That actually, I would agree with that too.
But
that's
interesting.
Just
my prediction. I hope I'm wrong. I want to see this movie.
It would actually do too. Director, not really a big thing.
Les Wiseman, he's got a good.
He does.
Yeah,
though.
Les Wiseman has
actually
a great track
decent
record. What, from the images I've seen, this looks very Blade Runner-esque to me in terms of the style of filming and the grittiness to the backgrounds. So I think we're going to see, if it does stick to its release date, I think we're going to see a movie that could be a sleeper, a late summer sleeper.
That just comes out at the end. Yeah. I could see that too. Actually,
it's possible. I mean, they've budgeted $200 million for this movie.
Wow,
that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Now you're
that's another reason why they might not try and.
There's no trailer out yet.
You got to think. Does that include marketing?
Yeah, because they could
that's
drop
a
another
big
100.
number.
Well, and they had pictures of the cars and police robots in Japan a little while ago, and they look very awesome. Minority Report again is the thing that comes to my mind.
We got to
for
remember
that.
this movie was huge when it came out the first time. I mean,
there are high expectations.
Tons of cash. You know, I'm not sure the star power is here to back it up though.
Colin Farrell, he still draws that female crowd to whatever movie he does.
But his last movie was Fright Night. Great. I enjoyed the movie thoroughly, but it didn't do huge numbers. He kind of stepped away from the mainstream for a while. He's really not there as the big tentpole draw. So which is probably why they're going for the fall bow on this one.
Later release date, admittedly. Yeah, less competition actually about that time.
Absolutely.
Admittedly too. So. Okay, guys, the bets coming in. Total Recall, 3rd of August.
Anybody gonna take it?
I'm gonna throw in for 10.
Cody's up for 10. Anyone else want to push it to 15 plus since you guys love the 5s?
I'm gonna skip it for now.
You know what?
Skip it.
I'm gonna take it for 15. I'm gonna go 15 on this one.
Rich is gonna go 15 on this one.
I'll take 15 on this one.
Code.
Bid me, buddy.
Yeah, I'm gonna bump it to 20.
Ooh,
just because personally, I want to see this movie. I was a huge fan of the original. I want to see this one.
So Cody at 20. Anyone else?
I'm gonna give it to you for 20, buddy.
All right, so Cody takes it at 20.
We should all plan if this opens on time. We'll all go down and watch it.
We should.
Yeah,
I think this is a part of a lot of our childhood.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. There's a lot of expectation behind this one. Again, if they drop the ball, it'll be hell to pay.
So how much money you got left, Code?
Code is sitting at 30
$30.
Ooh, $30 left.
So he's the least. All right. So that brings us into, we actually have a trailer for this one. Our next one, a 14th of September release. Now, again, huge difference. So if they can keep to their date, they have a really good chance of dominating there for that time.
Yeah.
I mean, at least based on our list anyways. So 14th of September brings us to, of course, as we were talking earlier about our video game collection, the new Resident Evil. I'll admit, I didn't see the last one. The 3D one. I
saw it, got
it.
Bought the T-shirt,
And
See, I
I
haven't watched
don't
any of
know.
them since the first one.
And it's not like they're bad because they're not. I will
I
say
really,
Mila Jovovich
really enjoyed
is
these movies.
the action heroine as far as I'm concerned. I don't care who you say. If someone's supposed to play,
Have you
a
seen
top-notch,
Ultraviolet?
She was amazing in it. She was absolutely incredible. Like
She was Alice in Ultraviolet.
she
That was all she was.
But she does such a good job.
And that had, I think, was based on another European comic.
Yeah, it
book
was,
that
yeah.
a lot
It
of
had that
people
feel to
weren't, familiar with.
So the movie we're talking about is Resident Evil Retribution. Let's go to the trailer. Zombies are back. So is Alice. And a surprise.
Technology is changing our world,
My name is John, and this is my world.
making what was once impossible
My name is Anna, and this is my world.
possible.
My name is Yumiko, and this is my world.
With technology advancing so rapidly today,
My name is Fang, and this is my world.
imagine what our world will look like
It is.
tomorrow.
Wow, Sony did a real marketing job on this.
My name is Alice, and this is my world.
I'm just surprised it's actually part of the movie.
They never try to retread the same ground. They're always moving forward and trying
Yeah.
different things with the franchise. You know, they're doing a Road Warrior movie or a sci-fi movie or survival. I mean, they started with survival horror and they just kept
Moving it
working-
forward,
moving it
yeah.
forward. I mean, it's like almost a completely different universe from where they started now.
And it is, and yet they still seem to want to reference back to the games while moving forward. They're like,
Yeah.
we like this, okay, so we're taking it, running with it. We like this, so we're taking it, running with it with the next one.
And
rather than
that's
going back.
actually a successful plan, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
if you look at the
It
movies
has.
that stay too tight to the game, basically anything Uwe Boll directed, they're terrible. You don't want to sit and watch them, right? I mean, but when they take something that works, something that resonates with people, and we accept that leniency, that leeway that they take with the original IP.
We do, admittedly too. And of course, as Rich said, a surprise, Michelle Rodriguez returning when we watched her get deaded in the first one. So that is kind of interesting there.
It
Alice,
is.
in my mind, is the only infinite loop available, or that should be in that whole series.
Yeah.
And yet, Michelle shows back up undeaded.
I think there's some other returning characters in
Is
this
there?
one as well.
So that that kind of begs the question: where's the placement on this one?
Well,
Then sure. I mean, they're saying it's the future, but what future, right?
This
About
is
what
true.
time?
Yeah,
So-
well, I mean,
Could be
we're seeing
Sony's
all sort
future.
of genetic experiments from the Umbrella Corporation.
Exactly. So I
Could be
mean,
clones.
They give
could be
themselves
all-
leeway to just be like,
they're-
"Hey, we're introducing
That's the
old
great
people."
thing about genre film is there's no out of bounds really.
And really, too, again, I didn't watch the last one, and I kind of feel like I'm missing out now. I need to go back.
Well, you
and
know
watch
what?
it or
Why
something
don't we have a Resident Evil weekend? Because I have them all.
Yeah, we should actually.
My wife is a huge Alice fan. She's never played the game. She just likes the movies.
Which she honestly, you're kind of missing out at my mind if you haven't really sat down with even just if you play anyone, it's number 2, as far as I'm concerned. Number 2, Leon Kennedy, greatest Resident Evil there was.
So I think we should all sit down one weekend. Everybody come over. We'll put it on the big screen, and we'll sit and we'll watch them all.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so
now I have to throw this out first real quick. In the trailer, Alex, you had to have heard this as well. Who do you think did the soundtrack for that little clip there?
that was Patrick Stewart.
Oh well.
No,
We're
I'm
not
talking
getting
about the music.
soundtrack.
We're
the
actually
music?
not getting any
I actually
sound on
didn't.
our
I
side.
didn't hear it.
Okay, well, from what I heard, it sounded like Daft Punk doing the soundtrack.
It
I don't know if
actually
anyone
could
else
be.
cares, but
I could
the
actually-
music was
yeah.
awesome.
Well, you know what? I really liked the Tron soundtrack when
Who
they did
didn't?
that.
Oh,
I mean,
that was
Yeah, who
amazing.
didn't?
I could
they
care
took the
less if
time
they
to
do
do
any
it
original
properly.
music anymore. Keep doing some music scores. That stuff's great. And that's one thing we should actually say is the Resident Evils usually have
done a really
terrific
good
soundtracks.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
They're always
I
just a
mean,
crazy awesome lineup.
Yeah, there is actually a really good one. I remember there was actually a Resident Evil rap mix I heard once that this guy used, and he used a ton of the overlay and stuff from
Oh,
all
yeah.
over the place, and it sounded amazing. Like, it was a really good job. They called it
Okay,
the Resident
so
Evil
who's
mix.
bidding on this?
So this is 14th September, who's bidding on Resident Evil? And really, you're not going wrong in my mind for bidding on it either, because these usually tend to make at least decent coin. So I am not getting in on this one, admittedly.
What about you, Jay?
I'll throw 5 at it.
Ooh,
Jason at 5.
Jason at
Save.
5.
Code Kev, what do you guys think?
Just because
I'll take it to 10.
Cody pushes it to 10.
I like Resident Evil. I like the franchise, even though I only played it up to the second one. But I don't see it as I see it as a box office regular, but not a box office hero. So I'm gonna pass.
Okay, so Cody at 10. Rich, how do you feel about this one?
I'm on the fence about it. Traditionally, they do average box office. They're not stellar box office. But if you've got enough little ones in your pocket, you might be able to win this
take with
at
this
the end
one.
of the year, right?
Yeah.
So, what was the highest bid so far?
I think Cody
10.
was that 10? Yeah.
So that would put me. You're at how much left?
He's at 30.
25.
Was it 25? Oh, wait, because you used a 5.
No, I'm at 30.
No.
No, Jason.
Jason.
I got 25 left.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I could actually. You're taking it for
I'm not
10.
gonna cheat.
So you know what? I think I'm going to take it for 15.
Okay.
It's 15. Cody, you going to let him
out.
take it?
No, I'm going to let him take it.
Okay, so I'll take that one for 15.
Okay, so Rich at 15.
That
Which,
leaves me
again, is
35 left.
Not a bad choice. Like, this one could pull out. Again, it's September 14th, so it's far after Total Recall if they stick to their guns, and based on our list, at least anyways, there's not too much. Except for following week, September 21st, comes our next film. Again, we don't have a trailer, which really saddens me because I really want to see
Because
this.
there's been production stills from this movie
that
for the last
look
year.
Amazing, actually. That look really good. And, of course, if you haven't heard, Dredd. And we're talking, of course, about The Judge. Judge Dredd. And Carl Urban is taking lead on this one. Love Carl Urban. Love him
Great
as an
casting
actor.
on this one.
You know, I don't think they could have picked a better person.
I don't think we're going to hear of a lot of the I am the law.
No, I think we're going to hear the gritty, dark.
Yeah, I know the helmet doesn't come off on this one, but I think the Stallone movie might be the shadow haunting on this one.
You think so?
Which I
well,
kind of
we've
agree.
seen bad movies make
Great
remake,
movies, terrible.
Make a follow-up reboot, not so great
great.
box office because it's got a stinker behind it. We saw it with many times with the Punisher at this point.
Oh yeah,
and
they keep releasing those movies.
Keep
yeah,
doing
and I think they
it.
got the third one right. And
I do too.
It was the worst performer of the three. So,
well, it didn't have a huge name behind it.
No, it didn't. It was just that one guy.
You know,
and-
I mean, when we had what was his name,
Thomas
Jane. At the time, he was at the top of his game in Hollywood. I mean, everybody wanted him. He did The Punisher. He did a great job. When Dolph Lundgren did it, again, he was at the top of his game in action films of that era.
That era, yeah.
So, you know,
we had a newcomer in that third one.
That's right.
Who I think was perfectly cast for the part.
Oh, absolutely.
But, it had too much haunting it. And you can say the same with The Incredible Hulk. The first Hulk movie, you know, they wound up doing about the same box office, and the second movie is easily a superior film.
Oh, far superior.
Again, that was another case of a bad movie haunting it.
Yeah,
So anybody
definitely.
going to take a stab at this one?
Any of Hulk movies.
So who wants to take this? Because really, I think it's going to do well. I think people are willing to do it. Looking at the costume, straight out of the comic book, without the shoulder eagles. That's the only thing I got rid of.
I think it's going to look terrific. I think it's going to probably be a pretty damn good movie by what the early shots we've seen of this film. Got the bad movie haunting it. It's also a property that's very big in Europe.
Not so big in North America. Yeah.
So there's a lot of pros and cons to this one. It's a tough one to call. It could be a sleeper. It could be a mediocre performer.
Yeah.
It could tank.
Whereas
but,
we hope it's the first.
This
We
could
hope
be
it's the
like
first.
Tintin, which did really, really well overseas, not so well domestically. So it's a hard one to call. Domestic box office is starting to really take over the box office, and we're starting to see films made for overseas by
Which is
Hollywood.
nice, finally, to actually for them to expand out like that.
So
I agree.
So I'm thinking this movie's not going to be for us, but I think worldwide
enjoy
box
it.
office, I
We'll push
think it's going to be a good performer on a worldwide scale.
All right. Well, and there's the opportunity there to make up because we're not just limiting ourselves to, North
Domestic.
American to domestic box office. So, all right. So who wants to start it? This one, September 21st.
I'll throw down for 15.
Cody down for 15. That's a nice opening bid, actually.
It is.
I'm hoping to outbid you guys on the next film.
How much you got left, Richard?
I know
35.
that's kind of why I'm throwing down here.
Well,
35.
Damn.
I'm hoping to outbid you guys on the next film.
I can't.
Kevin, start
even if
bidding
I
some
go
more,
in,
buddy.
I can't do that.
You got a
one.
lot of points, unless you're going to take what I think you're going to take, and
I can't
I'm
do
hating
that
you for
one.
it.
So you know what? I'm gonna put in for 20 just to fill out my sheet because I don't have enough to take the next one. So
so Jason at 20.
I'll go for 20 on this one.
Okay, so Jason at 20. Anyone else want to bump him? Again, he knows what he's using here, so he's got some wiggle room. Everyone else kind of does
This
too.
is just padding.
Yeah, this is padding.
Just padding. Who's got more than me?
More than you is me at 45, and Kevin is sitting at 55, which is why I really am not sure if I can take him because I know what he's doing. And Kevin, I'm cursing you right now, buddy. Come on.
Oh,
you know what?
Our
Okay.
Skype special guests
You
are
had to
sitting
do
in the
it.
wings.
I know.
You know something? I got to
awful
say
quiet.
this, and you guys should all think about this. Remember, that opens when, the next movie?
14th of December.
14th of December. So you only have 2 weeks to get box office bank before the end of the year.
It is what it is, though, and I've been arguing this with Rich.
So
he said 2 weeks only, and
your
I'm like,
bid
2
on
weeks is still big.
Dread was what? 20?
20.
You know, I'm going to go all in, 35.
Rich all in at 35.
I can't do it.
So that knocks Jason back.
I can't even go anymore.
Oh, he can't either.
Darn you, Rich.
So Rich is at 35. Kev, are you going to go in on this one, or are you waiting it out?
No, I'm gonna wait. Even though Dredd has more time, I don't think Dredd can do it.
Which means I can't beat you. I can't possibly do it, which means you're going to take it then.
You want to pull our points?
Huh?
Can we pull our points on this one?
the guy who didn't want to allow
I
bananas
know.
to go back
See,
and
if
forth.
you'd let
Now he
Casper
wants to do
happen,
it.
We could have done it.
Now I want an investment.
Which means
There can only be one winner.
There can only,
Yes, I agree.
Well, so let's see here. What am I got?
But the next one is a toughie.
It is.
I'm going to take Dread then, right?
All right.
35.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're getting Dread.
Yeah, he's got it.
I can't do it.
Okay, you guys can fight over last movie of the year.
All right, Rich,
I'm
I'll
out
give
now.
it to you. I'm actually contemplating taking it from you, but I'll let you have it at 35.
All right.
All right, so that puts me. Oh wait, no, I have less than what I thought. Never mind. I actually didn't take the other one for me, so I can't even bother. Which means, of course, brings us to our last movie on our list, the big, bad, awesome, of course, Peter Jackson returning.
And here it is.
My dear Frodo,
Shut up, Jeremy.
you asked me once if I had told you everything there was to know about my adventures. Well, I can honestly say I have told you the truth. I may not have told you all of it.
Bilbo Baggins. I'm looking for someone to share in an adventure.
I can't just go running off into the blue. I am a Baggins. Wait! Of Baggend.
Bilbo, allow me to introduce Fili, Kili, Oin, Loin, Dwalin, Balin, Biffa, Hofer, Bomber, Nori, Ori, and the leader of our company, Thorin Oakenshield.
Far over the misty mountains cold, to dungeons deep and caverns old, the pines were roaring on the height, the winds were moaning in the night, the fire was red, it flaming spread, the trees like torches blazed with light.
I cannot guarantee his safety. Understood. Nor will I be responsible for his fate. soon to tell when you come back?
Can you promise that I will come back?
No. And if you do, you will not be the same.
My name is Bilbo Baggins.
Bagginses. What is Bagginses? Precious.
The origin story. I mean, one of the original origin stories, as far as I'm concerned.
Who else got chills?
Who didn't?
That was actually the first time I'd seen the trailer.
Really?
Oh,
You
really?
never
Yeah.
watched it? Have you
No,
kept
this is
yourself in the
first-
dark intentionally, or?
I didn't know it was out. Honestly.
Oh, really? I have. I'm gonna be straight up. I read The Hobbit. It was the first book my dad handed it to me, and he said, "Alex, here's a book called The Hobbit. It's made by J.R.R. Tolkien." He had a 25-year anniversary signed edition that he handed to me. I did 4 book reports and read it 7 times before I was the age of 14. I am a massive Hobbit fan.
Are you
admittedly.
dressing up?
I am. It is what it is, buddy.
Well, he is kind of short.
I am. I was excited. Now, surprisingly,
It's
today
beautiful
found
looking.
out
It's amazing.
Benedict Cumberbatch will play and motion capture Smaug. So
Yes.
we get both Benedict and Martin Freeman,
The Sherlock team.
the Sherlock team, hopping on this movie. I couldn't.
Sherlock
I don't think
Watson.
we could have asked for a better gift than that. To be
Yeah.
honest, I mean the return of Ian McKellen as Gandalf.
Every time I hear casting, I just like, oh, wow.
Amazing.
Like,
Absolutely incredible. Ridiculously high hopes for this, and because it's Peter Jackson, we know he'll do it properly.
we
He'll
know
do the
this
full,
is going to
full
be
way.
huge in the box office. The only thing that might give it a run for its money might be Batman, but
Yeah.
Well, I got to
really
tell you
excited.
guys,
This is,
it's like this. I
it's
mean, it's
gonna
got
be
2
huge.
weeks to make bank before our run at this is over for the year.
Which is, to me, it's not an
But
unreasonable
they
expectation,
are
dude.
2 good weeks, though.
yeah,
Exactly.
you were talking Christmas opening.
December 14th.
Yeah, it's during the holiday season.
I just don't think it's going to make as much bank as some of the other ones.
I think this sucker's going to open at 100 grand.
Yeah,
Million,
honestly,
100 million.
I totally say that too. And we're talking global, so I mean, people are going to be storming. for
This is
this.
going to
This
be
is
a
gonna be
$1
big.
billion movie.
This is going to be buy your tickets 3 weeks
I don't
early
think it'll
and
be
don't
$1
come
billion
in.
in 2 weeks. Though.
No, but it'll push it for sure. And
Yeah.
I think my 4
Excited.
choices are going to make it.
I
think
we
I'll
all
take the
think
whole
that
thing.
though.
I'm
But
happy
we'll
with
see
mine,
how it
too.
goes. I've got 2 big ones in
You
the
know, the
hole,
worst
so-
thing
I
is
got
I
two-
can come in
I got
seriously
2 big
last.
ones. Well, you never know. It could be quantity over quality.
That's
Of course,
true.
too surprising, or actually not really surprising.
That's kind of what I was going for.
the Unit B director is, of course,
the
name?
guy who plays Gollum.
Gollum. Yeah, so
Yes.
Peter brought him in for that, which was
Andy
interesting.
Serkis.
Andy Serkis,
yeah.
correct.
Doing from what I heard, a really good job actually too on that. As Unit
Well,
B
he's
director,
an
unfortunate.
incredible talent all on
So-
himself. You know, I think he's knows how to direct motion capture. I mean, God knows he's done it enough times. He should have been nominated for Rise of the Planet of the Apes, but I don't think the Academy knows what to do with motion capture performances yet.
Yeah, I agree
So
with that.
I think we're
actually,
still.
too.
a
Well,
few
look how
years
long
away
it
from
took him
seeing
to get
nods on that.
into real animation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it took a long time for them to start recognizing it as a viable form.
Yeah, and I think there needs to be a new category here. It's one of the reasons why Tintin got overlooked for Best Animated Feature this year as well.
Oh, really?
Is because it's all motion capture, it's not animation.
Well, that's See, that's Buck. You can't just ignore.
And
these
of course, you
craziness
can't
coming out.
say it's put it in the actor category because they're been animated over the top. So you don't know
That
how
is
much
true.
where
Let's
the
go.
programmer starts.
Let's
and
go
the actor
back
is.
to a movie like Heavy Metal. A lot of that was done in sort of a mocap way.
There was a lot of mocap.
Not in the way that we do it now.
It's called rotoscoping.
Yeah, rotoscoping. They cell animated a lot of that stuff, and they took the actual filmed portions and they filmed it just like they would a normal live action, and then hand drew over top of each cell.
Well, the Ralph Bakshi Lord of the Rings animated feature was done in that
Was
style.
done that same
That
way,
was all
except there was
rotoscoping.
more actual telling that was real images to me in
Right.
that Hobbit than there was in Heavy Metal. I would never have guessed that they did that actually.
The whole Tarna scene, the chick on the big eagle-y thing.
Which was inspired by
No, I can't remember.
Moebius.
Exactly.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Yes.
To bring it back to
Just
the
to bring it back to the beginning of the show, a little cycle
what?
here.
We actually have an image from that.
And
there you go.
that's right.
There you
this
go.
is it right here.
Yep.
Yeah.
So definitely see the heavy metal in that and where they would have got that from too. For sure, like that's pretty crazy. I
So
would've never guessed
that the whole sequence of her was all filmed prior to the animation being done, and it was all drawn over the actual cells.
Man, who wouldn't have wanted to be there for the filming for that scene? I know I would have. So
Going through the water.
Now, another thing too to admit is that I'm looking forward to The Hobbit, or the trailer for me really excites me because there's no showing at all of Smaug, not a hint, not a thing, and I was like, that would have been a major selling point. Thank goodness he didn't.
They're
do it.
really just showing off the characters and the cinematography on this one.
Yeah.
They weren't going for razzle dazzle. The pedigree is secured on this one.
Yeah.
They don't have to razzle dazzle you with this one
because they know you're coming, and
Yeah.
really, why wouldn't they? I mean, why wouldn't you go? If you are not a Hobbit fan or you've never read the book, do it. And realize that when this book was released, it was considered a children's book. I just want to remind you that. Boggles my mind to this day that it was actually a kid's book. Being
So
what
is
it is.
so is the Hunger Games.
Well, no, Hunger Games is not a kid's book. It is a teen book.
Yeah. Hobbit is actually released
and
as
teen
a
doesn't mean
children's book.
that has been explained to me ad infinitum at this point. Teen books just mean they've cut down on a lot of the exposition, the descriptive, and they really just get to the meat of the story.
Very true.
There are some really interesting teen books out there, none of which I've read, but I've been told a lot about, and some of them sound really great. So, I mean, there are some viable properties out there.
They are. Actually, Ari Salvatore did a book with his son, Gino, and it's actually a teen book with Dritz de Warden popping in as a side character to Gino's character, which is a halfling.
wow.
Actually, and I heard that there were a couple books and they were actually really well. Again, aimed at teens on that side.
Okay, who's got the most money to take this film?
It's Kevin at
Humor,
55.
how about you humor me and let me go all in just so somebody can beat me? I'm gonna go in all
Jason
in with
goes
25.
all in at 25.
Just so I feel
I'll
like I
bridge you to
tried.
30.
There we go. Now I feel like I've done
I'll go to
something.
35 because that's all I got. Rich,
I'm out.
Is that
I spent all my money on the
actually,
last
he did.
movie.
That's right. So Kevin.
Well, if this is the last movie, I guess I'm going to take you to 55.
Which
The
we
last
know.
movie. We knew you were going to do it.
So Kevin's got a
Kevin
big one
takes
on
it.
here.
He takes
Yeah.
it at 55.
How many movies have you got now, Kevin?
Just 3. I've got Dark Shadows, Men in Black 3, and now The Hobbit.
Oh, he's got a good.
Yeah.
Actually,
I only went 2 with this one.
I only went with
You've
two,
got The
actually.
Hunger Games and Batman.
Batman.
And what have you got?
I got the Avengers and G.I. Joe, actually. So not too
You
shabby.
got a nice
I
big
got
one
a
there
nice
as well.
one
And
there,
I
too.
don't even remember what all my picks were.
You have Battleship
and Prometheus.
and
Okay.
Resident
And
Evil.
Resident Evil.
So actually, you've got 3 what could pop out to go pretty big, actually.
I think so. I think Prometheus. I think the big money
That'll-
makers in
will be
mine will be Prometheus.
Well, you know, I
and
don't think
Resident
there's
Evil.
going to be really any big losers on these.
No, I don't
lists.
think
I
so.
mean,
No,
there might be
it's
some
gonna be-
disappointing, but everybody seems
think we'll be
to have
fairly
a
tight-ish,
good,
yeah.
secure,
At least
solid
one.
film
And we got to
here.
remember, we
It's gonna be
picked
close.
genre films.
These are going to be
Yeah,
very,
there are
very
other movies
close.
out
We didn't go with the thousands of films that
There
are coming out
plenty
this year.
more to be released, plenty
yeah.
more that are going to be probably big box office, and plenty of stinkers along the way as well. But,
Sure.
Absolutely.
these
And of
are-
course, again,
these are
Plus
just
a
the
heavy
ones that-
sprinkling of chick flicks.
Yeah, which we actually skipped out on one comic book movie that actually Rich and I had discussed. Well, not comic book, but comic with punch drunk lovish feel to it.
Yeah,
that Griff one.
yeah.
We totally
Griff.
ignored that because it was, featuring what kind of is a superhero in love type story. I don't even remember what the hell it's called. The movie.
Griff.
Was it?
The
Is it
Griff?
just Griff? Oh, okay.
I thought that was based on a novel. Actually, there is a comic book I've seen of it though.
It seemed to be comic book characterish, but it could have been easily been a novel.
It's very,
too.
it's
I
very
think
much.
I think that was a novel first.
Oh, okay.
It just didn't seem like it should make our lineup.
Yeah, I
everything,
agree
everything in the movie world at this point is based on a comic book,
some
a
point.
novel, or a play.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Or a
true.
board game.
Well,
board game.
and eventually
In my
into
case, a board.
Operation.
video games and board games now. So
I'm telling you, operations next.
Let's write
could be.
Operation. Let's all get
Let's
together.
get-
We'll
we can
collectively
do it.
write
I
Operation.
think that
Hey,
one's
you
too
guys,
easy.
you guys can joke about that all you want, but ER was on the air for like 15 years.
Exactly.
It's not going to take
I-
much for
I'm-
Operation.
I'm right. I'm backing you up on this one. I'm going to stay away from Operation because I think that one's too easy with the medical drama. I mean, we know people like that. We got to write the Jenga movie.
Yeah, that one would be the
Jenga,
difficult one.
the movie.
Jenga the movie. People would be like, "What? The building? We gotta rewire it to save the planet, or it'll knock itself down, and then it's over." We'll be like,
We
"What?"
got to move this girder.
Yeah, pull it out. Tetris.
tap,
That's what
Tetris
she said.
the movie.
Pull it out. That's what she said. I couldn't resist. All right,
So some points left over too. Admittedly, we could have went a little bit higher on
We
our
could have.
spending, but I like it. We have 15
that's
movies.
creates battle. So
Some good round out. So, I think this is a good one. Stay tuned. Check out the website later. Hopefully by the end of this week, I'll have our picks lined out in a nice table. You can keep up with us as box offices get released. I'll keep up the
bar
chicken
graph.
bar
Do we get
graph.
a pie chart?
I don't know about
I
the
want
pie
a pie
chart.
chart.
I
want a
might
pie
do the
chart.
triangle chart if those exist. You never know.
I need a wedge in there somewhere.
If anybody is interested in commenting on our picks, well, you can do it in our chat room here.
Please do it in the chat room.
Or you can send us an email at betweenthepages@nakedapprod.com. And
you can also comment on our posts in the post page as well too, either under each episode as we post them up on the show, and you can check out the archives just on the left of the website, or go to the main page and click on the picture between the pages where the newest episode will be updated. So it'll be right there. So there are plenty of places to get a hold of us. Please do so. We hope you enjoyed the show tonight. I know I had a blast here. Thanks for inviting me, guys. I'm hoping to come
no
back
problem.
on.
And before we go, let's return back to the world of comics.
That's
let's
right.
close
I
the
agree.
curtain on the silver screen. We're not done here yet. We're still a comic book show first. So
That's right.
Let's get back to the comics. A few weeks ago, we talked about the new DC logo, and we wanted to show you in action because we didn't have any pictures up. So
Okay, let's go to that
let's get
shot.
that shot.
There we go.
Now, admittedly, I think they've toned this down for their charity banner up here, but I've seen other DCs with the peel back, and we see a lot of special effects going on with the sea. I'd like to see what this would look like, and hopefully they're
In the
going to use
animated?
this on the Batman movie, actually, and see that animated and pulled back. But right now, the basic one in print, wow. Kinda,
I see what you're saying now, having looked at it the last couple of times you talked about it. I totally see this new set and the potential.
Yeah, I mean, there's some good potential, and they get to have some fun with the sea, and I hope they do down the road. But right now, it feels like
Wonder Woman yum.
Yeah, I don't know. The logo itself, it feels like I'm being served notice on.
We are the offices of D&C.
Yeah. Now the cover. This is actually released tomorrow. Justice League #7. This is actually the Gary Frank variant cover, so it's going to be a little tougher to find. But Justice League, obviously, the big release for this week, and usually every time it's released, it's the big release for
and
this
just
week.
because you don't get to see the bottom there, a little bit of surprise action for you.
Yes, we talked about Shazam in our last show as well.
So
The
just,
debut of the new Shazam in the new DC universe, no longer called Captain Marvel.
They're tired of giving Marvel that publicity.
I think so. I
That
think
PR.
so. No, I mean, half the people out there thought his name was Shazam anyway, so might as well go for it. Which could be a problem since he shouts his name to turn into Shazam.
That is true.
So everybody knows your name. There.
No, I want
Shazam.
I want him to go.
Shazam.
Shiz Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel. Well, see, I mentioned to Rich too. I wonder how much Shaq had to pay to say Shazam back when he made that terrible Genie movie. I don't know if you remember that. A lot of people probably didn't see it. I've seen almost every movie Shaq has made. I don't know why. It's not like I've gone out of my way. All two of them.
The other one was Steel, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and from what I understand, the Shazam story, and I have didn't have time to read this, so it's going to be a surprise for everybody. But from what I understand, it's going to be a little closer to the version we saw in Flashpoint, which was kind of a melding of that concept and the Forever People. So I'm kind of hoping they stay away from the Kirby stuff, but it definitely looks like a darker take on it. He's gone as the big collar, and we now have a weird hood. So.
Well, see, I actually wanted to ask you because as I was telling Rich earlier too, I did a look on an article a couple weeks back, and this guy was completely tearing apart the new rebooted 52. How he felt that there was a lot of unnecessary dialogue, or there were scenes that just didn't fit. he felt that when there's, I guess, a comic where Batman reveals his identity to the Green Lantern, and it's supposed to be this big scene, and it's just like hi, I'm Batman, and that's kind of all you get from it. He felt that there was just no point to do it. He just does it because he can, and he's trying to like get in touch with Hal Jordan. Then he takes off the rest of his Batsuit to go do Batman-like stuff in Apocalypse.
Yeah, I know the story he's referring to, and I disagree with that.
Okay.
I find a lot of internet people almost
Are harsher?
they're harsh. They look for the faults. It wasn't done without reason. It was meant to gain the trust of the character, and that only works if you know who the guy under the mask is, and Hal didn't.
Okay,
So
I'm glad
there wasn't a
from
lot
your
of
side.
impact, but I mean, it was played for a reason. Batman's trying to wrangle in Hal with his big ego to fight this new enemy rather than fighting each other, and I think this guy's just missing the point on a lot of his books and just trying to cut it to pieces.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other complaint too that I actually wanted to ask you too was that Superman's attitude is too far beyond what it should be.
Well, you got to keep in mind this is a different universe, different rules. I
Yeah.
mean, this is a different Superman with a different origin. This version right now, he does seem a little meaner, a little
Yeah.
darker. I mean, he still has the high values and stuff, but I think he's willing to take the combat a little further and
Go
a
the
little
kind of the extra
rougher,
mile. Okay,
rough and
just
tumble.
because he made it sound like his moral compass is gone, and therefore this
No.
hardcore Superman could just fly off the deep end and we're done. Like because he is the most powerful being in the universe. But that's not how it is. He
Well,
actually still
not
has
not at the
madness completely.
moment. I mean, I think that potential for that character to happen was there, but I don't think DC would ever take that character in that direction.
Okay.
And you got to keep in mind the JLA story and Action Comics are taking place in the past of the DC universe. Action Comics is about 10 years in the new DC universe's past.
Oh, okay.
And Justice League is about 5, so he's still relatively new to this game. Everybody is at this point, so they have attitudes, they have egos, and they don't trust each other, and that all shows through. I mean, Superman's not a chump either. He's not going to trust you at the drop of a hat. Here's this guy in a bat suit who's viewed as a criminal in Gotham. He's the big, bright, shiny hero in Metropolis. He's not going to, take you at face value right off the bat. He's a character whose trust you need to earn.
Okay, that's cool. No, I needed to hear that too because I was reading it and I was like, "This seems really harsh to me." I wonder what Jason thinks about it.
Well, and this is just my take as well. I mean, everybody's going to get something
Their
different
own
out
thing
of it, and I urge you to read it. That stuff, if you're curious at all. I mean, the 52, for the most part, has been really good. There has been a few missteps, and some titles, have been cut, and we've got some new ones launching in a couple months. But for the most part, they've really worked hard to give us a great universe, and even some of those middle performers, like there's some great books out there in the new DC, and well worth checking out.
Nice. So for all of you of course paying attention, do it because this is the kind of stuff we want to talk about. And again, I want to get you interested. I'm going to state up front. I'm not a big comic guy. I was growing up, and then I kind of dropped out of it. Just didn't have the money mostly to do it. So, and now that I'm kind of hanging out with Rich and Jason, I'm starting to get that feel back. I do a lot more research into it, and it's really cool to ask those questions and be able to ask them and get that kind of answer back.
And don't be afraid to tell your local comic book retailer, like myself, the kind of stuff you enjoyed before when you were reading comics, or the type of movies you like and type of books. Your retailer will be able to recommend something you will like and spread you out from there. Comics aren't just for kids, folks. There's plenty of great kids books, but there's plenty of great reads for adults too. So
just like the new 52, I heard Starfire is everybody's bicycle to a degree. I heard it's in one fight where she's saving people. They're actually just talking about who rode the bicycle.
That's an interesting way of putting it.
Okay,
what else do we got?
Okay, well, let's take Justice League out of there. A couple weeks ago, I was talking about Archaia and some of their great hardcovers they've been producing. They have a bunch of Jim Henson licensing, and pretty much all their newer material is being released as hardcover OGNs rather than individual issues these days. And what I brought for us today to look at, so I could show you an example of some of their wonderful hardcovers, is Jim Henson's A Tale of Sand.
Okay.
What this is...
There we go.
Is an unproduced screenplay from Jim Henson's youth, prior to him opening the Muppet
Factory
type stuff. Yeah, the Creature Shop and all that.
Nice.
So it's finally been made into print. Basically, these are what Archaia is doing is all the stuff Disney didn't grab, which was the Muppets.
Right.
They're doing Dark Crystal and Fraggle Rock.
Nice.
And Jim Henson's Storyteller. All of them great, wonderful properties. The Dark Crystal books are just beautiful. One out right now, a second one coming. Fraggle Rock's got a hardcover coming out soon.
Wow.
And one Storyteller out, so I read it recently. It's an anthology of a bunch of short stories, some great writers and artists involved in that book, and it just brought me back to my childhood. They totally got the right flavor.
So definitely a big push for the parents out there that want to kind of bring that back.
So let's take a look at some of the interior artwork here. I just picked this up. I haven't read it yet. It's been out for, I don't know, a month or two.
Wow, look at that artwork.
Wow. It's just gorgeous. I mean, this is some
really
wonderful,
nice.
wonderful stuff.
Now, Kevin, are you much of a comic book reader these days?
Nothing recent, no. I'm sort of like Alex. I last read, I think, the Uncanny X-Men when Gambit came in and rescued Storm as a little girl. That's like about what I remember.
That's quite a ways ago.
That is quite a while ago. And what about you, Cody?
To be honest, the last series I was collecting was actually the Rising Stars.
Oh,
I don't know if...
Yeah, that's a while ago.
Straczynski's wonderful series.
Yeah, unfortunately, I never actually finished it. I was going to ask, has that whole kind of comic series finished by now?
It
or
is finished.
Did it just get cut off?
No, it's finished in collections. There even did some follow-up minis that Straczynski didn't write of some of the side characters, but all of it's out in collected material from Top Cow.
Do you know what I like about the artwork in this book? Is the word balloons seem to be very few in some panels.
As I turn to one.
As you turn to one that has like a million
of
of
text.
But in this case, the word balloons don't overshadow the artwork.
No, they kind of accent it.
Yeah, they do.
Else.
And in so many comics that we've seen in the past,
they dominate.
They dominate the page, and you get lost in the word balloons over the action.
And you notice how they're not overcoloring these with the crazy computer colors and stuff. You're getting more muted tones, and it really kind of makes the artwork pop.
Wow, that is such a cool book.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to read that after you're done.
And there's some really wonderful stuff coming out from Archaia, and I'll probably show some more in the future.
Okay.
They're a company worth looking at. They're definitely taking a different approach to comics, trying to get in the bookstores,
Right.
and I think they've found a little niche for themselves. Their free comic book day offering is also going to be a hardcover.
Oh, what? That's worth...
I know,
that's actually
it's
worth
insane.
That's really nice.
Are we doing anything at the store for that?
Oh, we'll see what we can arrange.
Okay. So there's
that
A Tale
was
of Sand.
Sand.
By Jim
All right.
Henson. So definitely something to check out. And I mean, Jim Henson's done such awesome work in the past. I mean, that's...
And do you want to do for shits and giggles?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do it.
Do you mind if I open these?
No, go ahead,
Okay.
man. I haven't opened mine yet, so let's put them on the table so people can see what you're playing with.
I'm just gonna yank these out of their plastic right away.
So
Okay,
incoming
these are coming
here.
out from a Japanese company called Kotobukiya. What I'm placing here right now is the Batman silicone tray. What you can use this for is ice cubes. You can heat it, you can cool it. Ice cubes, chocolates.
Chocolate's a big one for it.
Yeah. Whatever shots you want to do Jello shots with.
We have
Obligatory
discussed
Jell-O
this, Jello.
mention.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of these now. There's the Batman one, Superman. We have an example of some ice cubes going right now. This one here.
This is the Han Solo one.
Han Solo in carbonite. As you can see, we got some ice in there.
If you flip it over, is where you get the good picture.
Actually,
oh, no, you
no,
don't with
there's
that one.
nothing
Oh, there's nothing in there.
So the only way to really show you
is pop one.
is pop one.
pop
And
the
I'm going
big
to pop the
guy.
big one because
Okay,
that's
pop
the
the
one
big one.
everybody
That's,
can see.
I intentionally didn't take him because I figured just in case we needed to do
And
it.
this might be tough to see as ice. but it's maybe over the black backgrounds.
There we go.
It's a little bit easier. Honestly, chocolate is the way to go to really get the texture out on these, I find, as we have made some.
Throw it in his glass.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, Rich, I'm surprised you didn't take my idea and freeze some cola for that.
Yeah, I haven't
That's
done
a
that,
great
and I
idea.
was thinking about doing that.
And I got one more tray here. You can get Superman, Batman logos.
Han, of course.
Han in the Carbonite. There are X-Wing ones.
Oh, wow. They've really expanded the line.
Yeah. I have got at home Darth Vader's head and a Stormtrooper head. And as of today, R2-D2.
What? Beep boop beep. Awesome.
And coming up, there will be the alien egg.
Oh, what?
Is coming out,
Nice.
as well as the head of the alien.
Oh, very cool.
Man, the xenomorph.
Yeah.
Very amazing.
Yeah. They're producing some interesting other stuff as well. They've got Chopstick line. They've done like some historic representations.
They did the
of
lightsaber
swords.
chopsticks, didn't they?
Did the lightsaber
Yeah.
chopsticks. They've done historic swords as chopsticks. And coming up, they got some alien ones as well.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I'll bring those in.
Okay.
I've got some coming, so I'll
So
bring those
no
in
matter
for
what
people to
type of
see them.
fan you are,
There's
you can
something
have
for you
ice for
there.
your drink.
Yeah, ice
That's
for your
right.
drink. Or drinks. Or chocolate.
After
I mean,
this show, you might need several.
Yes. Yes.
Now, what we usually do is tell you what's hit the shelves as
What's hit
well.
the shelves.
So I've got my handy dandy little invoice here. So we'll do a quick hit of the highlights, and we'll name everything.
This is stuff that is on the shelf tomorrow.
As of tomorrow, so check this out. We got next issue of Amazing Spider-Man 682 with a variant cover by Giraud, who I think is pretty much done with his Marvel contract after bad-mouthing him at a con recently.
All right.
I think he's probably done with North American contracts at this point. He pissed in a lot of pools on that one. The big release from Marvel would be Avengers X Sanction number 4, ending the X Sanction series and preluding the big Avengers versus X-Men event, which will be out next week.
Which
with
you've
the
been
Zero
alluding
issue.
to for a little while now.
Yes, and this is going to be a big, important event for Marvel. So if you haven't picked up X Sanction, it's probably going to be important. Ask your local shop if they got some back issues, or hang tight for the trade. Marvel, DC, they're very good at getting collections out of this material, and I think they'll get this one out swiftly. So, get your back issues or wait for the trade. I think this is a story worth looking at. Jeff Loeb doing the rights on this one.
Oh, very cool.
Batman number 7. DC's been knocking this book out of the park. This is leading up to the big Quarter Owls crossover event in a couple of months. Snyder's just been writing the hell out of this book. It's easily my favorite of the Batman books.
Currently, yeah.
Everybody, that's the one. The great thing about the DC books and the Batman books in general, there are so many Batman books, but they all have a different tone and different flavors. So there is literally something for every
Everyone.
Batman fan out there, and the type of story you like out of Batman. And this is the type of story I like out of Batman. So moving down the list here, I'm just
we got time for a couple
glazing.
more.
Yeah. I think that was the two big ones. We talked about Justice League. Justice League, obviously, a big release for DC. Hack Slash 14, not a big book, but I'm always a fan of it. So if you like the slasher genre in movies, this is just an homage to that material.
Very cool.
Let's see what else. Stan Lee's Mighty Seven from Archie. I'm a little puzzled by this one. I don't know much about it. Just for curiosity's sake, you might want to check it out.
Okay.
Got to plug Rebel Blood from Image. This is a new book by Riley Rossmo, who is a local talent here in Calgary.
Always good for local
Great artist. You probably best know him from a book called Proof.
Ah.
Oh, okay.
Yes, wonderful stuff. And New Uncanny X-Men #9, some of the usual suspects, Wonder Woman #7. I think I hit the really big releases this week. So if you want to know more, check out your shops. There was plenty new material hitting my racks this week. So go
And
check
speaking
it out.
of your racks, geez, that just sounds wrong on all kinds of levels. And speaking of your racks, let's tell people where they can find you, Jason, and where they can find all the fantastic books that we've talked about today on the show.
Okay, well, Words Pictures is at 2610 Center Street Northeast in Calgary, Alberta. Our phone number over at Words and Pictures is 403-282-8870. Like I said before, we have file services, we have new releases, largest selection of back issues in the city, games, toys, statues, all sorts of pop culture stuff.
Excellent. Now, just before we wrap it up, I want to thank all of our guests today. I want to thank Alex, who came by and sat in with us this week to talk about movies and comic books. Thanks, and I'll see you again on Saturday for
Absolutely,
the PC
sir.
Basement.
I'll be here.
As well as I want to thank our other two guests, Cody Carmichael and Kevin Cottrell, both members of the Three Apes family, or the Naked Ape family, pardon me. Three Apes is another business who helps
Too
us
many
with
of them.
our Saturday show. There's too many ape businesses going on. Part of the Naked Ape family, Cody and Kevin, thanks for joining us, guys.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for having me.
Hey, no
Thanks,
problem.
guys.
We hope that one of you guys wins and that we don't. No, I hope
We'll
I
see.
win.
I have 4 pretty sure my list. So.
It's going to be a close race.
I think
will
it's
be
going to be a
tight.
very close
I think
race.
it
Yeah,
will
it's
too,
very
so
tight.
looking forward
And
to it.
as always, you can find us on the web right here at our website, and that is Between the Pages at nakedapeprod.com. If you want to leave us a comment or message, or you want us to talk about something that's important to you on this show, we will certainly give it consideration. And as we come to you every 2 weeks, our next show is coming up when?
Let me check the schedule, which
2
is
weeks from
also
today.
available on the site. So that is April 3rd.
April 3rd is
April
our
3rd.
next Between the Pages episode, and we'll be bringing you again we'll kind of give you an update on what movies have been released and who's so far in the lead, which might be a little unfair, but you know.
We'll talk about the new books and the new news stories that have happened in between, and
surprises.
hopefully no deaths.
And hopefully no
That would be nice for at least a show.
Cross
This
your
Yeah,
fingers.
one show.
We'll also, next episode, be giving you an update on what's happening with the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo, which is happening at the end of April.
Yeah, Frank Cho's just been added to that list.
Yes, there's been a number of people added, and some people have dropped off, and we'll tell you all about that on the next show. If you are going to be in the Calgary area on April 27th, 28th, 29th, down at the BMO Center at the Stampede Grounds, the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo will be taking place there. It is Western Canada's largest comic and entertainment expo. I encourage you to check it out. The entire cast of Star Trek The Next Generation will be there, as well as the man behind the dark mask, David Prowse, who played Darth Vader in the original trilogy, and a whole host of others, as well as the original Freddy Krueger, Robert Englund.
Stan Lee, George
Stanley,
Perez,
I was going to say, it was
Yep.
a big
Jeff
one.
Darrow,
Oh, sweet.
So
Robert
it's,
Englund.
it's a huge cast.
Lance
this year.
Henriksen just been added to that list for horror fans again. So
So there's a lot of people coming. We're going to give you a complete update on what's happening with the show on our next show. And we want to thank everybody for joining us again. Anybody that was in the our chat room on our website. I got to really stress our website. It is nakedapeprod.com.
It's the best place to watch us because then you can chat with us live, ask us questions, we'll answer them on the show. Do it. I mean, it's there for a reason, guys. Start using it. We want to hear from you.
Yes, absolutely.
We're a podcast that goes out live. How cool is that, guys? Like we have chat rooms where we go out live, and if you don't want to, you want to interact with us, don't watch the recording, watch us live and talk to us then. And
that's the best way to do it.
You might get a shout out on the show.
Oh, absolutely. So
That's the
thank you
best
so
way
much
to
for
do it.
tuning in this week, guys. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks everybody for tuning in. I guess we had a decent chat room this week, being that this is our official second episode of Between the Pages, but our
Third in the year.
Yeah. So
we were formerly known as the Splash Page until we found out everybody and their dog was using that title. So
And we couldn't get our episodes up on YouTube.
yeah, well, we didn't want to compete with MTV on that one.
That's very true.
That was rough. So tell us what you think of the name change as well, too. It has been posted, so you can leave a comment there and let us know what you think.
You bet.
Like it, don't like it, love it.
So thanks again. We will see you all,
In 2 weeks.
in 4 colors.
We'll see you between the pages.
Between the pages. And we are out, and this show is produced and brought to you by Naked Ape Productions right here in Calgary, Alberta. If you are interested in doing your own podcast, we are the people to talk to. Naked Ape Productions. We will help you get your podcast launched and produced and shown to the worldwide audience. So thank you again.
Ow.